Welcome to Sunday Night with Old Time Radio. Thanks very much for visiting. We hope that you'll always feel welcome here. We have a nice program for you tonight. We begin with Alka-Seltzer Time, followed by the Golden Gate Quartet. We have the third episode of Topper, followed by Gunsmoke. Cavalcade of America. We'll learn about John Bartram and his garden. We visit again the Vic's Matinee Theater with Beloved Enemy, and close with Dam Busters, episode 14. Let's get started. Oh, and I nearly forgot. We open, actually, with another 5-minute mystery. Put your thinking caps on.
Another 5-minute mystery.
I tell you, Janice, it's got to be slick.
No, it won't work, Roger. It's too uncertain.
But there's nothing to go wrong. Now listen. Those custom boys are used to naive, stupid smuggling. We've got to be smart, that's all.
And you think your idea is?
Look, Janice, why isn't it? We get on the boat. We're strangers. We never speak to each other. No one on the boat can connect us in any way. Now, I get off first, and right away I have my trunk and bags examined. By the time I'm through, you're off and you're waiting. Then...
Yes, but that timing. How can I be sure there won't be a lot of people under letter G and only me at K?
For heaven's sake, Janice, you can stall somehow. We'll be near enough to each other to see how things are going.
Okay.
Then I pick up my 3 bags and walk over toward you. I'm clumsy and I don't see where I'm going. I bump into you, and as I do, you drop my wallet. I pick it up.
With your hands full of bags, I suppose.
Well, maybe you pick it up. We don't have to rehearse a scene like that. If anyone thinks he sees you drop it, my initials and identification will prove it's mine, especially as I've just been through the customs. It'll look as if I had it in my hand.
Sounds good, Roger.
Good, it's perfect. Why, with the diamond market the way it is, we'll clean up in America, honey.
Roger, if this works, you're a genius.
That all you want to declare, Mr. Griswold?
That's all.
You're clear then, Mr. Griswold. Guess you're glad to be home.
I certainly am. And more than you can guess.
Yeah, it must be pretty tough in Lisbon, even for Americans. Oh, can you manage that packing by yourself?
Oh, yes, thanks. I must be clumsy about this now. There's Janice, good girl. She's just arrived. Fine. Well, here we go.
Oh!
I beg your pardon.
Well, why don't you look where you're going? Oh, just a minute. I think you dropped this wallet.
What? Oh, yes. I guess I did. Oh, thanks very much.
Wait a minute there. He didn't drop that, miss. You did.
Oh, no, you're mistaken. That isn't my wallet.
Well, indeed it isn't.
I saw you drop it, miss. Say, what's going on here?
Oh, nothing's going on. This gentleman ran into me and dropped his wallet, and I picked it up, and that's all.
How do you know it's his wallet?
Because his initials are on it.
Oh, they are they? What are your names?
Janice Kite.
I'm Roger Griswold, but I don't
Well,
see...
Janice Kite and Roger Griswold, you're both under arrest for smuggling. How did the customs official discover their trick? In just a minute, we'll hear. First, a word from our sponsor. And now, back to our story.
Look here, you can't arrest me for smuggling.
Well, you remember I asked you, Miss Kite, how you knew it was his wallet that had dropped.
Yes.
You said you knew it was his because his initials were on it.
Well, aren't they?
Yes, his initials are there all right, but on the inside. And when the wallet dropped to the floor, it didn't fall open, so you couldn't have seen them. Therefore, I knew you had previous knowledge of them. Yes, you two had a nice little package of 15 diamonds in that wallet. And now, how about a free ride to the station house?
Alka-Seltzer, speedy Alka-Seltzer.
The Alka-Seltzer Show, transcribed in Hollywood, featuring radio's favorite singing stars, Kurt Massey and Martha Tilton, with the music of Country Washburn.
It's Alka-Seltzer time, Alka-Seltzer time.
Morning, noon, and night, it's Alka-Seltzer time.
I'm Kurt,
I'm Martha,
and here we go with the Alka-Seltzer Show. Choo-choo train, chug-chugging at the station. Choo-choo train, conductor full of cord. Choo-choo train, you know our destination. All aboard. Choo-choo train, chug-chugging out by Jiminy. Engineer, go toot-toot-toot-toot.
smoky smoke, puffing up the chimney.
We're en route. Say, Porter, fix a room, and Porter, bring us ice.
Porter, get a broom, sweep out the shoes and rice.
Hey, Porter, thanks a lot. You've been so very nice.
Porter, tell you what,
Here's a quarter, shoo-shoo, Porter.
choo-choo train, please pardon us for hiding.
We'll explain in case you didn't guess. Choo-choo train, it's heaven to be riding. Honeymoon Express. The Honeymoon Express. Thank you. Yes, sir, that old choo-choo train was a double-header. Martha, it sets us up very nicely for an all-duet show.
All duets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kurt, here's our chance to find out if two heads are better than one.
Well, there's certainly no question about it when the two heads belong to Rogers and Hammerstein. So let's team up on one of their outstanding collaborations, No Other Love. No other love have I, only my love for you, only the dream we knew. No other love. Watching the night go by, wishing that you could be, watching the night with me. Into the night I cry, hurry home, come home to me. Set me free, free from doubt and free from When you ask for vitamins, say one a day.
One a day brand.
Yes, for quality vitamins, say one a day.
One a day brand.
In a tablet that is new.
With vitamin B12 too, at the same low price to you. One a day.
Yes, one a day brand vitamins. Let's look at the vitamin picture this way, friends. Can you honestly say you get enough of the essential vitamins each day, or do you sometimes wonder? Well, to be positively sure, every day take one a day brand multiple vitamin tablets. They supply all you normally need to take of all the vitamins proved necessary. But remember, take them regularly, not just once in a while, but every day. And then you don't risk vitamin shortage, one of the common causes of a tire-easy, pepless feeling. One-a-day vitamins are now in tablet form, with a much-talked-about vitamin B12 added. And you'll be glad to know they cost less than 3 cents a day when you buy the large package. Tell your druggist you want one-a-day brand multiple vitamin tablets in the blue box with the big red one. Here's another sample of that famous brand of Massey Tilton two-part harmony. Personally, I think this might be a good theme song for Dorothy Dix, When Love Goes Wrong.
When love goes wrong,
Nothing goes right. There's one thing I know. When love goes wrong, a man takes flight, woman gets uppity. Oh,
the sun don't beam, the moon don't shine, the tide don't ebb and flow. A clock won't strike and a match won't light. When love goes wrong, nothing goes right.
the blues all gather round you.
All the day is dark as night,
A man ain't fit to live with.
and a woman is a sorry sight. It's like I said, you're better off dead when love has lost its glow. So take this down in black and white.
When love goes wrong, nothing goes right.
When love goes wrong, nothing goes right. When love goes wrong, there's very little left. That's why nothing goes right. Martha, we promised that this would be an all-duet show, but, I think we could stretch a point and sneak in one trio, don't you?
Yeah, we need some vocal help from the piano department. That means you, Mr. Levere. You.
You. I'm in love with you. I could be so true to someone like you. Do what you ought to do. Take me in your arms, please do. Let me cling to you.
We were meant for each other, sure as heavens above.
We were meant for each other, to have, to hold, and to love.
You.
There's no one like you. You could make my dreams come true. If you say you love me like I love you.
Kurt, this steady duet work has me kind of bushed. Don't you think we could take time out for a sip of coffee?
Hey, I think Teddy Bergman just brewed a fresh pot backstage. I can smell it from here.
How about that, Country? Why don't you and your boys fill in with about 60 seconds of oh? refreshing, and I refer to both the coffee and that highbrow cafe clatch music.
Now all rested and ready for another twosome month? Perhaps a love song this time.
Why, sure. Why don't we sing this one, Kurt? It should work as a duet. Even the title comes in 2 parts.
Who makes the robin sing? My love, my love.
Who brings the joy to spring? Who else
But you, my love, who makes my poor heart cry, my love, whose eyes are stars on high, none else but you, my love, as sweet as morning mist are the lips that heaven kissed.
as endless as the sea is the love that he gave to me.
And what have I to give? My love, as long as I shall live, you'll always be my love. You'll always be my love. Alka-Seltzer, Speedy Alka-Seltzer.
Man, I feel better. That's what you'll say when you try Alka-Seltzer for fast relief from acid indigestion. Alka-Seltzer for that feel-better feeling. Alka-Seltzer reduces excess stomach acidity with instant alkalizing action. And it works so gently, too. Thousands of sparkling bubbles soothe and settle the stomach and help bring relief with gentle, effervescent action. So next time acid indigestion makes you uncomfortable, get that feel-better feeling with Speedy Alka-Seltzer. It's tangy, refreshing. You'll like Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer, Speedy Alka-Seltzer.
Feel better feeling comes in record time.
When your stomach feels upset for relief, don't you forget Alka-Seltzer. Now we can slip out of this double harness and go our separate ways, Martha.
Oh, not yet, Kurt.
No?
There's one more duet on the program.
Oh?
The one we sing every day when we invite everyone to come back for another visit tomorrow. Same time, same station.
Ah, yes, this one you mean. We'll sing the old song.
We'll sing the new.
We'll sing the bright songs. And maybe we'll sing the blues on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, too. For you.
For you.
For you.
Monday and any day is a good day to check up on your medicine cabinet needs. And certainly your family friend Alka-Seltzer can be one of your most important needs. Remember, when a headache comes along, Speedy Alka-Seltzer brings fast relief. Alka-Seltzer contains one of the most useful pain relievers known to science. And medical tests prove the system absorbs more of the pain reliever faster from Alka-Seltzer. Remember, for fast, gentle headache relief, take Alka-Seltzer. Get it at any drugstore. Listen tomorrow for the Alka-Seltzer Show, starring Kurt Massey and Martha Tilton, with the music of Country Washburn and his orchestra. Today's program was transcribed in Hollywood, and this is Fort Pearson speaking.
I hear those echoes calling, saying, meet me at the Golden Gate. Well, gone again, skip-doo-maloo, gone again, skip-doo-maloo, gone again. again. Skip-to-ma-loo, my darling. Well.
Howdy, neighbors. This is Tom Scott, and the voices you hear belong to the famous Golden Gate Quartet. Together, we'd like to bring you the songs that grew up with our country. Songs of the mountains, the rivers, the prairies, and the men who traveled over them. Songs that tell the story of the hopes and joys, the laughter and the tears that went into the building of our land, our America.
Gone again, skip-to-ma-loo, my darling.
When God created the world, he put some evil things into it, too, so that we could more easily see the true and the good all about us. Take animals, for example. Most of them are useful to man, but there's got to be a few ornery ones like that pesky old boll weevil. The Golden Gate Quartet tells us about this crop-destroying critter who crossed the Rio Grande into Texas about the turn of the century, the boll weevil.
Well, the first time I saw the boll weevil, he was standing on the square. The next time I saw the boll weevil, he had his whole family there. He was looking for a home. He was looking for a home. Then the farmer took the boll weevil and buried him in the sand. The boll weevil said to the farmer, I'll stand it like a man, 'cause it's my home, 'cause it's my home. Then the farmer took the boll weevil and left him on the ice. Says the boll weevil to the farmer, this is mighty cool and nice. Oh, it's my home, it's my home. Now the boll weevil said to the farmer, you better let me alone. I've eat up all your cotton. Now I'll start out on your corn. I'll have a home, I'll have a home. Then the merchant got half the cotton. The boll weevil got the rest. Didn't leave the farmer's wife but one old cotton dress. It's full of holes, it's full of holes.
Boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo 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 doo. Boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo 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 doo. Boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo 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 doo. Boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo doo wah, doo doo wah, boom, boom, doo 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 doo.
There's been lots of songs about girls spurning men. But did you ever hear tell about the lady who was in love with a swine? I know you'll get a chuckle or two from this sad love story. The lady who loved a swine. There was a lady who loved a swine. Honey, says she, pig hog, wilt thou be mine? Hoink, says he, I'll build thee a silver sty. Honey, says she, that in it thou mayst lie. Hoink, says he, oh, wilt thou have me now? Honey, says she, speak or my heart will break. Hoink, says he. Well, there I was telling you about a lady who loved a swine. Now, here's another humorous folk tale concerning animals. This time, it's all about a wedding of a frog and a mouse and the animals who were present at the ceremony. Everybody was there when Froggy went a-courting.
Well, Froggy went a-courting and he did it right, Froggy went a-courting and he did it right, Froggy he went a-courting and he did right, with a sword and pistol by his side.
Must have Miss Mouse for my wedded wife.
You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Well, he rode on down to Miss Mouse's door. Well, he rode on down to Miss Mouse's door. Well, he rode on down to Miss Mouse's door. Gave one big rap and a very loud roar.
Well, let me in or I'll break the door.
You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Miss Mouse said I can't answer that. Miss Mouse said I can't answer that. Miss Mouse said I can't answer that until I see my Uncle Rat.
What's Uncle Rat got to do with that,
You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Miss Mouse said you get out of here. Miss Mouse said get out of here. Miss Mouse said, get out of here. You got great big feet and you ain't nowhere.
Well, I got so mad I tore my hair.
This is the end of my song.
Of course, when you start telling about animals, you can't leave out dogs. No, sir, not dogs. Well, you can't even go hunting without a good dog. Why, lots of folks go out hunting just to listen to the dogs hollering. Like in this one. There was a jolly farmer did go to hunt the fox. Swore he saw Reynard over on yonder rocks with a roodly-doo and a pot-do-ray and a doo-dah-days. Through the woods we'll run, brave boys, as through the woods we'll run. With a whoo, calling up my dogs. Come on, Brownie. Here, Sparks. The first he saw was a woman a-combing of her locks. Swore she saw Reynard among her geese and ducks with a roodly-doo and a pot-do-ray, the doo-dah-days. Through the woods we'll run, brave boys, as through the woods we'll run. Second he saw was a miller a-grinding at his mill. Swore he saw Reynard over on yonder hill with a roodly-doo and a pot-do-ray, the doo-dah-days. Through the woods we'll run, brave boys, as through the woods we'll run. With a calling up my dogs. Come on, Queenie. Here, Rover. The last he saw was a blind man, as blind as he could be. Swore he saw Reynard running up a tree with a roodly-doo and a pot-do-ray and a doo-dah-days. Through the woods we'll run, brave boys, as through the woods we'll run. Well, there never was a Reynard run out that day at all. 'Twas nothing but a pussycat setting on a wall with a roodly-doo and a pot-do-ray and a doo-dah-days. Through the woods we'll run, brave boys, as through the woods we'll run. With a calling up my dogs, calling up my dogs now.
Boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, 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 doo. Boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, 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 doo. Boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, 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 doo. Boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, doo, wah, doo, doo, wah, boom, boom, doo, 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 doo.
Of was one place where the animals all got together, and that was on the old ark. And that's when the old ark started to move her in. Oh, the old ark's a mover-in, a mover-in, a mover-in. The old ark's a mover-in, and I'm going home. Way over yonder in the harvest field, band of angels walking on the chariot wheel. Oh, lark's a moon. Well, away up yonder on the mountain top. Oh, lark's a moon. There's a band of angels waiting for to lift me when I drop. The old ark's a mover-in, a mover-in, a mover-in. The old ark's a mover-in, and I'm going home.
Well, the old ark she reel, old ark she rock, old ark she lands on the mountain top. Well, the old ark's a mover-in, mover-in, mover-in. The old ark's a mover-in, I'm going home. Old ark's a mover-in, mover-in, mover-in. Old ark's a mover-in, I'm going home. Well, gone again, skip to Maloo, gone again, skip to Maloo, gone again, skip to Maloo, my darling.
This has been a program of American folk songs interpreted by the Golden Gate Quartet with Tom Scott as your singing host. We've brought you the songs that grew up with our country. And this is Tom Scott saying goodbye for a while.
Gone again, skip to Maloo, gone again, skip to Maloo, gone again, skip to Maloo, my darling.
Snap, what a happy sound. Snap is the happiest sound I've found. They clap, rap. Snap, crackle, Rice Krispies. I say it's crackle, the crispy sound. You gotta have crackle or the crust not found. Snap, crackle, Rice Krispies. I insist that that's the sound. The best is missed unless hops around. You can't stop hopping when the cereal's popping. Snap, crackle, Rice Krispies. I say crackle, that's the sound. You gotta have crackle as the pops come round. You can't stop hopping when the cereal's popping. Snap, crackle, makes the world go round. Kellogg's best to you.
Oh, Topper, darling, we're back.
Oh, dear, here we go again.
The Adventures of Topper, starring Roland Young. The Adventures of Topper is a new comedy series based on Thorne Smith's hilarious bestseller and is brought to you by the makers of those bubbly light, crisper cornflakes, Post Toasties.
We toast them crisp, we toast them light. You can tell by the taste. We toast them, they're tasty, sweet, so good to eat. Delicious and light for Toasters. Post Toasties.
And you know what? We like 'em. And now, let's meet Topper.
How do you do? My name is Cosmo Topper. I probably look as if I'm having trouble keeping my spirits up. On the contrary, my trouble is keeping down with my spirits. Spirits I'm referring to, of course, are George and Marion Kirby, a pair of dizzy ghosts who are driving me crazy. Unfortunately, my wife has a few ideas on that subject, too.
No. Cosmo, wake up. Breakfast is almost ready.
Kiss me. Just one more kiss, Marion.
Cosmo, you wake up this instant.
Huh? Oh, Malvina. Oh, please let me sleep just 5 minutes more.
What for?
I've a little unfinished business to attend to.
By no chance were you dreaming of me.
By no chance. I was dreaming about my work. I was staring at figures all night.
Yes, I could guess that. Cosmo Topper, you're the only man who can sleep and pop his eyes at the same time.
Believe me, Velveena, I was working all night.
Cosmo, I heard you in your sleep trying to kiss that blonde hussy. Nice work.
Yes, nice work if you can get it. Velveena, doesn't breakfast have an unusually strong smell this morning?
Cosmo, that smell is you. It's a garland of garlic I hung around your neck during the night.
Garlic? Malvina, you often threatened to roast me alive, but I never thought you'd try it.
Oh, don't be silly. And leave that garland where it is. It'll make you a normal person. With this garlic, you'll be on the right track again.
With this garlic, I'll have the train to myself.
You don't understand. Garlic keeps away the evil spirits. And aren't you always complaining that you're haunted by spirits?
Malvina, that's an old superstition about vampires. Besides, Marion Kirby's no vampire. Well, a vampire is someone who grabs you in the dark, crushes you, and... Oh, dear, what am I saying?
Well, we'll put an end to this spirit business once and for all. Every time you do something wrong, you blame it on a couple of ghosts you know. Well, if you are haunted, Raja, the famous mystic, will find them.
My trouble is not finding them, but losing them.
That's exactly why I've made an appointment with the Raja. As soon as you're dressed, we're going right down for a personal interview.
Malvina, you're not serious about this Raja and all that spiritualist humbug. He's probably nothing but an old faker.
Why, that's not true at all. Every night he enters the spirit world.
Probably comes back loaded.
Cosmo, I'll hear no more about it. For months you've been driving me to distraction with all your talk about spirits. Now we'll see whether you were deceiving me or not.
Malvina, listen to me.
Not another word. Just get dressed and come right down.
Spiritualist, mediums, humbug, chiseling charlatan. Well, Malvina, is that you? Funny, I thought I heard the door open. Faker couldn't recognize a spirit if it came up and whispered in his ear.
Hello, Topper.
Hiya, Topper.
George, Marion, speak of the devil and...
Cosmo Topper, just because we weren't accepted into heaven is no reason to fix our next destination.
You needn't be so sensitive, Marion. I was only...
Hey, what do I smell around here?
Oh, what is that smell?
Oh, that's me.
Well, what's happened to you?
No wonder. Look, he's wearing a wreath of garlic.
I want you to know I'm wearing this especially for you.
Well, if it's for me, I prefer Chanel number 5.
Yeah, what's the gag, Topper?
No gag. My wife's trying to keep evil spirits away from me.
Have you been keeping bad company again?
Yes, you too. And my wife is ready to go to any extremes to make us part company.
Well, we won't let her get away with that.
Well, I'm afraid of, but she's really serious this time. She even wants me to see Roger, the spirit medium. Absurd, isn't it?
Why, Topsy, that's a wonderful idea.
Man, don't tell me you believe in all this rubbish.
Oh, Topper, she's just like all the other women, always running to fortune tellers, getting a palm read.
This is fantastic. A real spirit believing in all this... Oh, man, there's nothing to these spiritualists at all. What in the world could you want of the Roger?
Well, I'm getting pretty tired hanging around the earth as a low-plane spirit. Maybe the Roger can contact St. Peter for us.
Anyway, you two will ever get through the pearly gates with a Jimmy. Look, man, I refuse to go to the Roger with Malvina, and I refuse to go with you. I'm going to stay right here in bed, or I'll know why.
Topsy, dear, if you don't come with us now, I'll scream for Malvina.
All right. I know why.
Say, this is a surprise. But you know, even the most extreme types of people can get together on a subject every once in a while. They may disagree on who's the best pitcher in the National League or whether jive is here to stay, but hand them each a bowl full of golden brown Post Toasties, and I'll bet they'll agree right off that the sunny flavor is nothing short of wonderful. And it is, too. What's more, every golden flake keeps that grand, toasty quality, right to the last flavorful bite. With such a really swell dish waiting for you each morning, you'll probably take up singing in the shower. But say, you want to remember that Post Toasties are refreshing at lunch and snack time, too. Anytime you want, just something good to eat, have a heaping bowl full of Post Toasties. You'll like them.
Well, here we are at the Rogers home. Cozy-looking place.
Cozy?
Looks like a palace.
Must be pretty profitable business contacting spirits.
Now we know how he gets his spirits. The customers walk in and he skins them alive.
Come on, boys, let's go in.
Oh, but remember, you must remain invisible and no tricks.
Hey, get a load of all these doors in the hall, will you?
Wonder which one we enter.
This is certainly very confusing. Topsy, what are all these signs on these doors?
Those are the signs of the zodiac. Let me see. Oh, it's Libra, the scales, Scorpio, Leo the lion.
This must be the Raja's room. Taurus, the bull.
Oh, let's go into this room with the half moon.
That's not the right room.
Look at all the heavy black velvet hangings on the walls.
Yeah, this place gives me the creeps.
Certainly muffles the noise. You could probably commit a murder here and no one would hear it.
Look, let me out of here. Huh?
George, don't be ridiculous. Remember, you're a ghost. What are you afraid of?
Ghosts? They got me.
Stop acting like a baby. This is fun.
I wouldn't stay here for all the tea in China.
You wish to see the Raja?
Looks like the Chinese will do without tea this winter.
Quiet, George. Yes, I wish to see the Raja.
My name is Princess Ali. What is your name?
Nut.
Is that your first or second name?
My name is Cosmo Topper.
Ah, yes. The Raja is waiting for you. You wish to come with me?
I wish to come with you.
Very well.
Oh.
Follow me.
Topsy, dear, she said follow. Don't trip over her.
Say, Topper, I wonder if that luscious babe is a mind reader.
Obviously not, George. She hasn't slapped your face yet.
Through this door, please. Follow me.
Easy, boys, one at a time. There's the Raja. George, you ever see such clothes or such a colorful fez?
I don't remember the clothes, but the fez is familiar.
Oh, stop your bad puns and be quiet, you two.
Oh, most exalted Raja, the man you have been awaiting has arrived. This is Cosmo Topper, the banker.
The banker? Ah, yes. Won't you make a deposit, Won't you deposit yourself, Mr. Topper? Your wife has told me all about you. Oh, and why did you come without Mrs. Topper?
Well, the spirit moved me.
The spirit, yes. Ah, yes, Mr. Topper. That's why you are here. It is within my power to help you. I bring you the wisdom of the East, the spiritual knowledge of the West, the lore of the North.
This guy is strictly from Dick.
What did you say, Mr. Topper?
I said I feel like a pixie.
Yes, Princess Arling, you may go now. When I want you, I will clap my hands twice.
Yes, my master.
Hey, we're losing the main attraction.
Let us proceed, Mr. Topper. First, I must learn how your mind is attuned to the spirit world by feeling the bumps on your head.
Did you call master?
I didn't summon you.
Don't look at me. My hands are in my pocket.
George, stop clapping. This is no striptease.
You may go, Princess.
Oh, heck.
Now, Mr. Topper, back to the bumps on your head. You may not realize it, but these bumps foretell a man's future. This indicates a man's career. This bump indicates marriage.
I thought the bumps came after marriage.
Now, as I run my fingers through your hair, I want you to relax. Now, relax.
Oh, it feels good.
Now, as I'm exploring your head, what are you thinking of, Mr. Topper?
Well, it's the best scalp treatment I've ever had.
Now I go to the right. Now to the left. Now to the right again.
Oh, do it a little more on the left, will you?
Topsy, ask him about us.
Topper's getting a massage. I want a manicure.
George, you called me master?
No, Princess, I didn't. But I believe our subject is getting slightly out of hand.
I assure you, Mr. Roger.
You may go, Princess.
Georgie, why don't you just lasso her?
Mr. Topper, now that we made contact with your thought waves, we must gaze into this crystal ball and search for the spirits.
Man, you're not so close.
Gaze into the crystal ball. Soon the spirit will be closer. Closer.
She's in my lap now.
Describe the spirit who has made contact with you.
Well, she's a blue-eyed blonde, about 5'2", well-built. Well, very well-built. Pretty.
Pretty as the Princess Arling?
Well, no, not quite.
Ouch!
My ankle. Oh, she's much more beautiful than that.
Look closely into the crystal ball. Concentrate and you will see her. Now we'll move on to the other spirit. Are you with me?
No, I'm still concentrating on Marion.
All this malarkey. I'm bored.
Oh, dear.
Did you call, Master?
Mr. Topper, would you please do me one favor? Just one slight favor. Will you sit on your hands? You may go, Princess. And don't come back!
Man, he can't do this to me. I'll fix his wagon.
Mr. Topper, these distractions have been very upsetting. However, with $100 bill, you can soothe my nerves.
Yes, and who'll soothe my nerves? Sir Roger, I've enough of this hocus-pocus. What I want...
Hocus pocus? Are you referring to my spiritual powers as a bag of tricks?
No. Let's call it a bag of wind, shall we?
Enough of this mockery. I will demonstrate the great powers of the East. I will show you the mystery of levitation. Observe. I am rising. Higher. Higher.
He's a phony. Look at the wires attached to his belt.
I am still rising.
I'll get a rise out of you. Watch this, Topper.
Higher. Higher. Help, I'm really falling. I hit the ceiling.
What do you expect with your prices?
We haven't had so much fun since I flew a kite.
George, come down.
Help, I'm floating out of the room. Oh, let me down. Help.
Bye, Roger. Don't forget to write. Come on, Marion. We can't remain in the Rogers room any longer.
But Topsy, where's George? He hasn't come back yet.
Oh, he's still floating around with the Roger, probably.
Yeah, it's me. He's floating around with that princess. I don't see her anywhere.
Oh, come on, Marion.
Roger! Oh, Roger! Where are you hiding?
Marion, Melvina's here. We're trapped.
Oh, Roger, which door do I use?
See, she made the same mistake I did, Topsy.
Marion, what are we going to do? Melvina will right in. She expects we'll find the Roger and we'll find me instead.
Well, she's been cheated before. Besides, Topsy, why can't she find the Roger here now? Oh, Topper, you'd make a wonderful Roger.
Man, if you think
Here,
that I...
darling, all you have to do is wear the Roger's cloak and his turban, and she'll never recognize
My
you.
face. What about my face?
I think it's cute. But you better hide it behind this fan.
Why do I get talked into these things?
There. Darling. Oh, darling, it's amazing how you look in the Roger's odds and ends.
Yes, but I look a little odd where it ends.
Roger! Oh, there you are. Oh, I had a terrible time finding you.
Well...
There should be someone to guide you in here.
Well, my guardian spirit is invisible at the moment.
Oh, Roger, I must apologize for not bringing my husband with me. He ran out on me this morning, and by now it's probably far away.
Not far enough.
Oh, Roger, I don't understand his actions. We've always been so close.
Well, don't worry. You're probably closer than you think.
Topsy, you're in the driver's seat. Give her the works.
What was that you said, Roger?
Why, I just said I'm ready to go to work on you.
Oh, thank you, Roger. You know, in some ways, you remind me of my husband.
I do?
Oh, I suppose it's only natural. I see a bit of Cosmo in everyone. His nose on one person, his eyes on another, and his ears on someone else.
Sounds like he's going to pieces.
You know, you even sound like him.
I do? Yes. Let us explore the mysteries of the East.
But, Roger, the spirits I want you to trace are right here in Pleasantville. They're a mad couple who were killed in an automobile accident. George Kirby was a worthless creature, and Marion...
I think we should respect the dead. In this case, it would be much safer.
You're darn tootin', brother.
Oh, you have no idea of what an impression Marion made on poor Cosmo. Why, even now, after her death, he imagines she sits on his lap. Now, how can I cure him of that?
Why? Fight fire with fire. If he imagines she sits on his lap, let her sit. 10, 12 hours at a time. That'll do it.
Is that enough?
Should be enough for any man.
And do you really think that would cure him?
It'll either cure him or kill him.
But while all this is going on, what should I do?
Why don't you visit your mother for 2 or 3 months?
You know, Roger, that's strange. My husband's been suggesting that for years. Somehow you do remind me of my husband.
It's just your imagination.
No, there's something about you, Roger. Why do you fan yourself so? I don't feel warm.
It's getting hotter all the time.
Topsy, she's catching on. Distract her.
Yes, of course. Mrs. Topper, when you gaze into this crystal ball, don't take your eyes off the crystal ball. Keep looking at the crystal ball.
Why?
Pretty, isn't it?
Topper, you've got to do better than that.
Roger, if I look into this crystal ball, could you locate my husband for me? There's nothing I like better than coming face to face with him now.
Would you mind looking at your side of the crystal? I feel much safer with the table between us. Shall we go on?
Roger, I think you're about through.
Oh, no. This is only the beginning.
Imposter! Get out of my clothes.
Yes,
I'll
this
have
is
you
the
arrested.
beginning of the end.
Heavens, Sir Roger, poor Top.
Oh, I thought there was something very strange about this. Take the fan away from your face, Cosmo Topper.
Mr. Topper. My little friend is up to his tricks again.
Cosmo, you and I will have words when we get home.
Elvina, you know I'll never get a chance to use mine.
Mrs. Topper, don't be hasty. Remember, your husband says he's a victim of unbridled spirits. You must bring him back here at the stroke of 12. And I'll take the spirits out of his hide.
Say, neighbor, if you too would like to be out of this world come midnight, just follow the advice of this old soothsayer. Have yourself a snack of golden brown Post Toasties, covered with rich, cold milk. Man, it's really something special. Now, if you don't happen to have any Post Toasties on hand, I'll tell you what to do. Tomorrow, ask your grocer for the large economy-size package. Then you can have them at breakfast, lunch, or snack time. Yes, anytime you want a refreshing treat. You'll find Post Toasties have a grand flavor, and that they stay toasty brown and crunchy from the first to the last bite. That makes for mighty good eating, friends. Post Toasties are good for you, too, you know. They are rich in food energy and supply important food values of the whole grain. So be sure to buy them, friends. You'll like them.
We toast them crisp, we toast them light. You can tell by the taste we toast them. They're tasty sweet, so good to eat. Delicious and right from toasted. Post Toasties.
And you know what? We like 'em.
Oh, stop fidgeting, Cosmo. The Roger will be ready for us in a moment. It's almost 12 o'clock now.
I can stop it from ever reaching 12. Melvina, would you please pace the clock?
What, like this?
Perfect. Now. Must have been an 8-day clock.
Don't be a child, Cosmo. Now, this is for your own good. Just imagine, for only $100, the Roger will drive away the spirits of George and Marion.
Wouldn't you take 50 and just drive George away?
Cosmo. Oh, here comes Princess Arling. There's a girl with an interesting background.
Not a bad foreground, either.
The Raja awaits you, Mr. Topper. Will you follow me?
Ah, those magic words.
Oh, run along, Cosmo. Well, this will make a new man of you. This is your big opportunity.
Mr. Topper, are you coming with me?
I wouldn't miss this opportunity for the world.
I'll be waiting right here.
Here we are, Mr. Topper. You will sit right here on this small chair.
Won't I be crowding you?
I go now.
Say, where is Roger?
Fear not. He will take care of you in a minute.
Wait. Don't leave me alone here. Don't go. Why does that only work with George? Now what?
Don't be frightened, Topsy. It's only us.
Sure, we came to help you. Here we are. Now, look, Topper, we're right with you. See, no matter what happens,
You are.
we'll be right behind you.
Fine. That's where you usually are when I take the licking.
Oh, I wish that guy would stop kicking that gang around.
Quiet. Here comes the Roger.
Mr. Topper. This is the moment I have been anxiously awaiting. You have no idea with what pleasure I anticipate working on you.
Pardon me, but I think your fangs are showing. Mr. Roger, wouldn't we be saving a lot of trouble if I had just introduced you to my spirits?
Oh, no, we don't contact spirits that way, Mr. Topper. First, I must prepare my subject. Then I put him under my psychic influence. And then we strike sympathetic thought waves.
Oh, you fellows always do it the hard way.
Mr. Topper, have you no desire to see an astral body?
I'd be delighted to see the princess again.
I see you taking a passing fancy to the princess.
Topper wouldn't pass up anything that fancy.
I suppose you would.
Now I'm going to put you under my psychic power. Look in my eyes. You are going to sleep. Sleep. Sleep.
Wait.
What for?
I never go to sleep without reading first.
Sleep. Sleep. Sleep.
Just a moment.
What is it now?
In case this works, will you set the alarm for 8 o'clock?
Mr. Topper, you must concentrate. Look into my eyes. Now. That's it. Don't let your eyes leave mine. Look.
George, do you think he can really hypnotize Topper?
Ah, that old phony couldn't hypnotize anybody.
As you look into my eyes, your will begins to leave you. Your thoughts become subject to mine. You're coming under my spell. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Soon you'll be completely in my power. I will command, and you will obey.
Yes, Master.
George, do you really think Topper's hypnotized?
Well, let's stick a pin in him, find out.
Oh, no. No, I've got a better idea. I'll kiss him. That ought to do it.
Well, no reaction.
He's either hypnotized or dead.
You are completely under my spell. I will prove this to you. Listen carefully and repeat after me. I am a fool. I am a big fool. Do you follow me?
Yes, Master.
Very well. Then say, I am going to pay you $1,000. Now repeat that.
I am a fool, a big fool. I'm going to pay you $1,000.
Yes, I've destroyed your will. You will stay this way until I snap my fingers. You are in my power. I can do whatever I wish with you.
He sounds like he's going to foreclose the mortgage.
Mock me, will you? Scoff at my mystic powers. Play tricks on me. Flirt with the princess, will you?
Here comes trouble.
That gives me an idea. You think you have a way with women, do you? So you are a wolf, eh?
That's my Topsy.
Then howl like a wolf. Get down on all fours and howl like a wolf. You're quite a Casanova, Mr. Topper. Let's see if you were always so smooth with the ladies. We will take you back to your first date. Remember, this is your first date. Now, how old are you, Mr. Topper?
4.
No. No, Mr. Topper. Let's set your age at 12.
Honey, do you think we better step in now?
No, George, this is getting interesting.
You are now 12 years old. I imagine you as a bookworm. Your head buried in a book. Month after month, studying the facts of life.
Yes, I always read Esquire.
Now you're on a date. I suppose you borrowed your father's car.
No, Master, we ran out of gas on the front porch.
Now you kiss her.
Yes, Master, I kiss her.
Now you kiss her again.
No, I can't.
Why not?
I'm still scraping the bubble gum off my face.
Tell me, great lover. I suppose she thrilled when you put your arm around her?
No, Master, she shivered at my touch.
She shivered at your touch?
Yes, I forgot to put down the ice cream cone.
Enough of this nonsense. Now for your punishment. Look at me, Mr. Topper. What do you dislike most in the world?
Crooning.
So you dislike crooning, eh? Well, Mr. Topper, croon! Croon like Bing Crosby.
When the blue of the night, boo-boo, meets the gold of the day, boo-boo.
Oh, this is awful. We've got to do something now.
That's right, darling. The punishment he's taking.
He's taking? The punishment we're taking? I'm going to snap my fingers right now.
Well, what was I doing?
Why, the spell is broken. I don't understand this.
Topsy, he hypnotized you.
And, brother, did you talk?
You took unfair advantage of me, Roger. Well, it's time my spirits dealt with you.
Your spirits, huh? Do you think I believe in that nonsense? Spirits, bah!
I fear you're in for a rude awakening. In just a moment, I'll ask my spirits to materialize, and you'll come face to face with them.
That's a joke. Why, if you can do that, I would kiss this business goodbye. I would even kiss your wife goodbye.
George, Mary, do your stuff. There they are. There they are. Materialize right before your eyes. Now what?
Come in and have a cup of coffee. Now, those are among America's most familiar words of hospitality. And do you know that Maxwell House shares in that cordial invitation more than any other brand? Well, it does. For today, more people buy Maxwell House than any other brand of coffee in the world. And it's no wonder, for in today's Maxwell House, there's extra flavor in the blend. Consequently, more satisfying flavor in the cup. So buy Maxwell House. It's good to the last drop.
Be sure to tune in Topper next week when Topper finds the road to heaven paved with good intentions. Remember, Topper next week, same time, same station. This is Ron Rawson saying goodnight for the makers of those bubbly light, crisper cornflakes, Post Toasties.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Wild Root Cream Oil, Charlie. It keeps your hair in trim. You see, it's non-alcoholic, Charlie. It's made with pseudolanolin. You better get Wild Root Cream Oil, Charlie. Start using it today. You'll find that you will have a tough time, Charlie. Keeping all those gals away. Hiya, Baldy. Get a bottle right away. Your druggist has it. A little goes a long, long way. You hear it screaming. Keeps you looking neat all day.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke.
Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
Marshal Dillon.
Over here, son. What's the trouble?
Marshal.
Why,
That's Will Thompson's young'un, Mr. Dillon.
what is it, kid? What's wrong?
Dad. Mom. They burned our house. Got the fences. 4 of them. My sister. They rode in and shot.
You've been shot. Hold that lamp down here, Chester.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
Blood all over the back of his shirt. Will Thompson, he's a homesteader, isn't he?
That's right. Came to Dodge City about 3 months ago. Took up a section over on Mulberry Creek. Mr. Dillon, you want me to go get the doctor?
No. Boy doesn't need a doctor now.
burned the house is right, Mr. Dillon. It's still burning.
Yeah, what's left of it is. Watch yourself now, Chester.
Yes, sir.
No sign of life, though. Whoever did it's probably long gone by now.
No reason to hang around.
Now, let's tie up here and look around on foot. Bring up your carbine, Chester.
I got it, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, they even fired the corn crib. Now, why would anybody want it?
What's there? What is it?
It's a dog. Shot.
A dog? When they even shoot the dogs, it's a...
You see something?
Yes, sir. It's Will Thompson. I think it's Will.
What do you mean you think it's what? Scalped.
He was Indians, Mr. Dillon.
They couldn't have been Indians. Only tribe reported in 20 miles is the Kiowas, and they wouldn't do anything like this. They've been peaceful for years.
Yeah, I don't know, but...
Come on. Let's find out what happened to the rest of the family.
Yeah. Besides Will and the boy who rode into town, there's Miss Thompson and a daughter. Girl about 17, pretty as a picture.
There's something lying over there by that cottonwood.
Yeah, I see.
Well, I guess we found Will's wife.
She's alive.
Yeah, if you can call it that. Scout around and take a look for the daughter, Chester.
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
It's all right, Miss Thompson. It's all right. It's all right.
Mary. My daughter. They took her and dragged her away. Dragged her away.
Easy, man.
I tried to stop them. I held on to one of them. He kicked me loose. And his spur came off. It's here somewhere. It's on the ground somewhere. On the ground.
Yeah, I see it.
But my daughter. I took her away. My baby.
There now.
My baby.
There now. It's all right. We'll find her, ma'am. We'll find her and then... Miss Thompson? Well, you're better off, ma'am.
Mr. Dillon?
Yeah.
Over here in the willows. I found her.
All right, Chester.
Pretty as a picture. Seen her in Dodge. Walking down Front Street. Pretty as a picture.
Yeah. All right, let's ride. We'll look in the Long Branch first, then if Jalisco Pete's not there, we'll try the other saloons.
I bet his boss is here. He's here every night.
Yeah, I know. Follow me in, Chester. Just keep him off my back. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, look who's here. Matt Dillon.
Hiya, Kitty.
What brings you in, sweetie? Business or pleasure?
It's not pleasure.
Ah.
Plenty of other men in Dodge, Kitty.
Are there?
They come in here, don't they?
Sure. They come in. I talk to them and I drink with them. That's my job. You follow me, Matt?
I follow you.
I'm off at 2 every night.
Kitty, have you seen Jalisco tonight?
No. He hasn't been in, Matt. Ben Rourke's sitting over there at a draw table, though.
Good, I'll talk to him. I'll see you, Kitty.
Sure, Matt. Sure you will.
Well, I think I got a pretty good hand here myself.
All right, boys, here's where money talks. I'm raising another 100 and I'll stand pat.
Ben?
Huh? Well, it's the marshal himself.
I'd like to talk to you, Ben.
All right, Matt, talk.
Not here. We'll go over there by the bar.
I'm sorry, I'm busy. I got a pat hand and a cinch bet.
Maybe. This is official, Ben.
Meaning?
Meaning I want to talk to you. Now, come on.
Take over my hand, Donnelly. I'll be right back. All right, Matt, let's have it. What do you want to talk about?
One of your cowboys, Ben, Jalisco Pete.
What about him?
Know where he is?
Around somewhere, I guess. Why?
I'd like to know if he lost his spur recently. Tonight, in fact. It's pretty, ain't it? Mexican silver, needlepoint rowel, gold inlay. Pete's the only man I know in Dodge who's got a pair like this.
All right, I'll see that Pete gets it. He'll appreciate your finding it.
I doubt that. I found it lying beside a woman he'd just kicked to death. Will Thompson and his whole family were wiped out a few hours ago by 4 night riders. You know anything about it?
How would I know about it?
Your boys call you King, Rourke, don't they? Never heard of one of them pulling anything without being sure you'd back him up.
Matt, are you claiming I was in on this?
You're a cattle rancher, Ben, an open range man. You boys all hate the homesteaders coming in with their plows and fences. Been a lot of fences cut by night riders. Now it's murder.
You haven't named me yet, Matt.
A couple of months ago, here in the Long Branch, I heard you say you'd get the homesteaders out of Ford County if you had to burn them out. Well, did you?
Sometimes a man gets known as a fast gunslinger and it goes to his head.
I asked you a question, Ben.
Then he gets himself a tin star and goes around bothering people.
Ben, if you're figuring to draw on me, don't.
Why not, Matt?
I've seen you in action. You're not fast enough. Now, I asked you a question.
And maybe I don't feel like...
What's going on in here?
Nothing.
Oh, there you are, Marshal.
How are you, Colonel?
Marshal, what's this I hear about an Indian uprising?
There's been none that I've heard about.
Whole family massacre, the way I hear it, sir. Murdered and scalped.
Scalped?
2 of them were.
So it was Indians. What game are you playing, Matt?
Indians don't cut fences, Ben. That's a cattleman's trick.
Scalping, too?
Could have been an afterthought. It wasn't an Indian who lost that spur.
Well, we'll soon find out about it. I'm riding into the Kiowa country with Troop C tonight.
I hope you won't do that, Colonel Blake. You know the Kiowas are peaceable enough when you let them alone, but if you push them, they'll fight.
True enough, Marshal. We can't let them get away with it.
The Indians weren't responsible, Colonel. I got evidence to the contrary. Give me 24 hours and I'll prove it.
Well, I certainly don't relish stirring up a tribal war, but...
Just 24 hours.
Well, all right.
Ben, if you know where Jalisco is, you better turn him in. It'll save trouble.
When any of my boys need discipline, I take care of it.
Not this time. Other people are involved.
Homesteaders. Squatting on a measly 320 acres apiece. Ruining the whole country.
They got rights, Ben.
Who says so?
I do.
Morning, Marshal.
Good morning. Any luck, Chester?
No, sir. I just stopped by the jail here to see if you'd found him.
I wish I had.
I'll head out again in a few minutes. Oh, this fellow's been waiting for you all morning, Mr. Dillon.
Is that so?
My name's Ezra Hawkins, Marshal. We ain't met before. I got a homestead up the river. Don't leave me much time to get to town.
I see. Well, what can I do for you, Mr. Hawkins?
Well, it's about what happened to the Thompson family last night. The other homesteaders sort of appointed me to speak for the whole bunch.
All right, speak.
Well, we want to know what you aim to do about it, Mr. Dillon.
I aim to get the killers.
When?
Mr. Hawkins, I've been up all night trying to get an answer to that question. If you got any information to offer, fine. If you haven't, then... What's up, Chester?
A trail herd hit town, I guess.
Hey, pull up, boys.
Dodge City jail. Come on, let's decorate it.
Let's go, Chester.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold it there. Hold it.
My, the jail is occupied, boys.
You men just blow into town?
We ain't talking to men, Sheriff. These are curly wolves from the Circle Bar B, the roughest, toughest outfit in the Panhandle.
And you're not talking to the sheriff. I'm the U.S. Marshal.
You the range boss?
That's right. Ed Dudley, and what about it?
Dudley, we got a new law here against shooting off firearms inside the city limits.
Yeah? You mean like this?
No, Dudley, I mean more like this.
Hey! Shotgun right
Now come on down off that horse.
Well, come down off it.
Watch it, Mr. Dillon. He's got a knife.
Yeah, so I see.
Well, nice work, Mr. Dillon.
Drag him in and lock him up, Chester. Throw some water on him.
Yes, sir.
All right, curly wolves. Your boss is jailed and fined $50. You can get him out tomorrow morning.
We got the money. We'll take him now.
I said tomorrow! Now on the move. All of you, get!
You handle things right fine, Marshal, once you get started.
Thanks, Hawkins.
Only trouble is some of us homesteaders are getting kind of impatient. The cattle ranch has been treating us pretty bad for too long. The boys are all meeting at my place today. I reckon I can hold them back till tonight. You know what I mean, Marshal.
Yeah. I saw it happen in Abilene, dirty and bloody. I'd hate to see it happen here. Sure, I know what you mean. Range war.
Well, Marshal, we can hold an inquest any time now. I'm all finished with the autopsy.
All right, Doc.
It goes pretty fast when you can line 'em that way, 4 in a row. Makes the job a lot easier.
Yeah, I imagine. Doc, have you ever seen a range war?
No. I hear there's one brewing.
There is, plus Indian trouble. If I don't bring in Jalisco Pete before tonight and find out who his 3 partners were, you're going to have bodies lined up 20 in a row.
Well, it'd sure bring in a lot of fees. I could retire and buy myself a ranch.
Sure, Doc.
Oh, that sounds like Chester, Marshal.
Yeah, he's been scouting those thickets along the river bottom.
Mr. Dillon, I brought in Jalisco.
Where is he, Chester?
Outside, tied on a pack mule.
Good.
No, sir. I'm afraid it ain't so good. He's dead. Been shot in the back and scalped.
We will return for the second act of Gunsmoke in just a moment, but first, CBS Radio, in cooperation with Time Magazine, makes available to you, free of charge, a valuable convention handbook packed with facts and sidelights about American national political conventions. This convention handbook, containing a convention map and box score of interesting pictures and a complete history of this old American custom, will be yours if you send a postcard with your name and address to Time, CBS, Chicago 90, Illinois. That's Time, CBS, Chicago 90, Illinois. And now, with William Conrad starred as Matt Dillon, here's the second act of Gunsmoke.
Just a second now, Marshal. See, here it comes now. There's the bullet, if it'll do you any good.
It won't, Doc.
The slugs I dig out of the bodies all look alike.
Someday, though, they may figure a way to tell them apart. Maybe even tell which gun fired which bullet.
Oh, no, not a chance of it, Marshal. Well, I guess that's all I can do for the late lamented. Oh, I see he's only wearing one spur.
Yeah, I know. I got the make to it here. That's what I wanted to talk to him about.
It's too bad, Marshal. His talking days are over.
Yeah, somebody made sure of that, all right. Then tried to cover the trail by scalping him.
Well, I can tell you one thing. It wasn't done by Indians.
That's my guess, too.
I've seen how Indians do it. Down in the territory, up in the Dakotas. Slick and clean. Nothing like this. Why, I could do a better job with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I bet you could.
Well, I guess I'd better get ready for the rush. Looks like a showdown, Marshal. And I don't see any way that you can stop it.
Neither do I.
Matt, over here, Matt.
Oh, hiya, Kitty.
Business again, Matt?
Well, I was looking for Ben Rourke.
He isn't here. He left about an hour ago. Some of his boys came after him. Matt, I waited for you last night.
I worked, Kitty.
All night?
Yeah.
There's a bad feeling in the air, Matt. What is it? What's going to happen?
I wish I knew.
They called all the soldiers from C Troop back to Fort Dodge this afternoon. I hear they're planning to move out tonight.
I hope not.
Been a lot of homesteaders in here drinking today. That's unusual for them. What's going to happen, Matt?
The bloodiest mess you've ever seen. And I don't know any way of stopping it. If I'd only found Jalisco Pete before they killed him, now I got nothing to go on.
Jalisco came in here last night, late after you'd gone.
What? Well, why didn't you let me know?
There wasn't time, Matt. He heard he was wanted and he left right away. His friends with him.
Friends? What friends?
I'd never seen him before. I think Pete had known him in the Pecos country. They're all pretty drunk.
How many were with him, Kitty?
3, I guess. One of them was named Red Dudley.
Red Dudley?
And one called himself Tulsa Jim. They kept talking about the Circle Bar
Yeah,
B brand.
it might be. They could have ridden in last night ahead of the herd to look up Pete, and then they...
Oh, Marshal. Say, you better come on outside here if you want to stop a lynching.
Coming, Doc.
Be careful, Matt. Be careful.
What is it, Doc?
Ben Rourke and some of the cattle ranchers. They caught themselves an Indian, and they're going to string him up.
I doubt it.
Let us take care of this, Matt. We know what we're doing.
I hope so, Ben. Who have you got here?
One of the murdering skunks that wiped out the Thompsons. Any objections?
I might work up some, Ben. What's your name, fella?
He won't talk to you. Hasn't opened his mouth.
Look, fella, as an Indian, you're a ward of the government. I'm a U.S. Marshal. I represent the government. I'm here to protect you. Now, what's your name?
Keith Doxwa. Work hard. Good man. No kill.
What makes them think you did?
Say kill people. No kill.
He pleads not guilty, Ben.
Sure he does. And maybe he can explain why we caught him 2 miles from my ranch house. Is that reservation? What was he doing there?
Go ahead, ask him. Mr. Rourke? Maybe I can tell you what he was doing.
What?
Ezra Hawkins.
One side, if you don't mind. Let me through here, please. Let him stand. Thank you. We got tired of waiting, Marshal. We come on into town.
Maybe that was a mistake, Hawkins.
Maybe. You have to play it the way you see it.
Look, mister, let's have it. What's this all about?
I'm a homesteader, Mr. Rourke.
Well, I accept your apology.
Weren't no apology. I just wanted you to know who those 100 men across the street were.
They all got guns.
100, huh? Well, there's 30 of us, so the odds aren't bad. What's on your mind?
This Indian's been working for us, Mr. Rourke. Tracking down fence cutters. Maybe that's why you caught him within 2 miles of your house.
Got the nerve to come out and say what you mean, homesteader?
You bet I have, fence cutter.
All right, hold it. Now, you're covered, Ben, and you too, Hawkins. This play's gone far enough.
Not giving a man a chance to draw, Matt?
Not this time, Ben. All right, Katoxa, climb off that horse and get over here behind me. Move slow and stay out of the line of fire. You men, if either side makes a move, Ben and Hawkins will be the first to get it. You understand? Doc, take us into your office.
Oh, sure, right away, man. Well, Matt, what's the next step? You can't keep us here with our hands in the air forever.
I don't intend to. I got one of the murderers locked up in jail. I want you two to come along and listen to his statement, but leave the questions to me, all right?
It's just fine with me, Marshal.
It's your show, Matt.
Good. Come on. Chester? Chester?
Looks kind of deserted, Matt.
He may have gone back to the cells to see. Chester?
Move on, Joe.
Ben, Hawkins.
What's the matter, Matt?
Here, I'll get that gag off of him. You cut the ropes, Ben.
Right.
All right, Chester, here we go. Easy now. There. What happened, Chester?
Oh, they slipped in and got the drop on me, Mr. Dillon. Took Red Dudley with him. There was two of them, not more than 20 minutes ago.
Who were they? Did you know them?
Nope. Circle Bar B-boys, I think. They slugged me and thought I was out, but I heard them talking. They were all in with Pete on the Thompson killing.
Yeah, I know.
And they killed Pete, too. They was afraid you'd make him talk.
The question now is, where are they?
I know where. The Arkansas rooms.
The Arkansas, huh?
They planned to hole up there till it got dark. Maybe they've gone by now, though.
Maybe not.
Want some help, Matt?
No, thanks, Ben. It's my job, mine and Chester's. Come on, Chester, let's go.
The rooming house is all dark, Mr. Dillon.
That doesn't mean a thing. Watch the windows.
That's you, Dillon?
Drop behind that water trough here. Use your carbine. It's more accurate.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dudley. Come on out. You're under arrest.
Come and get it!
Fire at the flashes, Chester.
That came from the side window, Mr. Dillon.
And 10 to 1, there's somebody behind the other corner. So... Yeah, there was. Rake the front of the building, Chester.
Yes, sir. I got one. He's hanging out the window.
Yeah, it's 2 down.
Dillon! Hold your fire! I give up!
All right, come on out.
Be careful, Mr. Dillon. It may be a trick.
It's up to him. Come on out, Dudley. Well, hurry it up!
I'm coming. I got a bullet in my leg. I can't hurry very fast. You got me all wrong.
Watch it, he's drawing.
Wrong, Chester. He started to. See if you can find the doc and get him to help you pack these things over to the jail.
Yes, sir. Right away, Mr. Dillon.
Matt? Are you all right, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all right, Ben.
Had a clean sweep, huh?
Looks that way.
Well, bullets are cheaper than rope.
I guess so. Ben, you and your boys aren't murderers like Red Dudley, but this business of fence cutting can lead to a range war, too. Like it or not, homesteading's here to stay. There's more of them coming in on every train.
I know all that. Us cattlemen built this country, Matt. A few more years now, they'll have us fenced out of it.
Times change, Ben. There's range still left out west, New Mexico, Arizona.
Yes, I know. Some of us have been thinking about it. Matt, they'll fence you out, too, you know.
Yeah, I guess they will. Well, when that time comes, I'll move on. If I'm still around.
Farms and families. Next thing they'll do is set up courts and bring the law in here.
Law's here now, Ben. In Dodge City, I'm the law.
Gunsmoke, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was especially written for Gunsmoke by Les Crutchfield, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in tonight's cast were Harry Bartell, Lou Krugman, and Georgia Ellis, with Jack Crucian, Barney Phillips, Vivi Janis, and Johnny McGovern. Parley Bear is Chester, and Howard McNear is Doc. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. Jungle Legacy is the name of tonight's adventure with Tarzan. Listen as Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, faces a band of unscrupulous men who seek a uranium deposit in Tarzan's realm, through which they hope to rule the world. Don't miss Jungle Legacy tonight, when most of these same CBS radio stations bring you Tarzan. It's packed with thrills, packed with action, packed with tense atmosphere. This is Roy Rowan speaking.
Vic's Matinee Theater. Vic's Matinee Theater, presented by the makers of Vic's Vapor Rub, brings you Beloved Enemy, starring Victor Jory as Dennis Reardon. Now, here's a good thing to remember when you catch a cold. The best-known home remedy for relieving miseries of colds is Vic's Vapor Rub.
Ladies and gentlemen, today from the stage of the Matinee Theater, Vic's brings you one of the most memorable love stories told. Enemy, adapted from Samuel Goldwyn's great motion picture. Our story opens in the city of Dublin in 1921. 1921 in Ireland, a time of unrest and discontent, a time when right or wrong, rebellion flamed through the land and good men on both sides died for their convictions. And foremost among these, a hero to his followers, but to the authorities of England only a name, Dennis Reardon.
Dennis Reardon, did you hear the news?
Yes. McCarthy, O'Brien, and Casey dead.
They were brave lads. They saved our records.
They were lads. I grew up with Tom O'Brien. I've lost a brother.
Well, the men are all assembled in the cellar for the meeting. Will you come down now?
Aye.
Did you hear that Lord Atlee and his daughter are arriving from England tonight?
That I did. The English government has sent Lord Atlee to come over and see what can be done about us. He's going to find we're quite a problem. Eh, Burke? I understand, too, that there's a shipment of munitions arriving tonight.
A shipment of munitions, eh?
That's right. Munitions.
They've blown up our munition ship. This is intolerable negligence on your part, Captain Loader.
But, Lord Atlee, you don't understand the situation. I don't have enough men to cover all of Dublin. We're not at war with Ireland, you know. I never know where they're going to strike next.
It's your business to know.
But Reardon's spies are in the post office, the telephone exchanges, army, police. They're everywhere. Anything we decide here, Reardon knows in 2 hours, and I don't even know what the man looks like.
Well, you'd better find out what he looks like. Because if we don't get him pretty soon, there's going to be war between Ireland and England.
We're doing everything we can, Lord Atlee.
Oh, there you are, Captain Loader. There's some soldiers out. If you don't want him, I'll take him.
I'll be right out, Lady Helen.
No, bring him in here. Let's see your efficiency in action, Loader.
Very well. I'll bring him in here.
I'll just sit down and watch, if you don't mind, Father.
Suit yourself, my dear, but don't interrupt.
And this man was picked up close to the dock where the munition ship was destroyed, Your Lordship.
Ah, I see. What's your name?
Dennis Reardon.
You're taking a dangerous name, my man.
The best is none too good for me. My man.
Oh, impudent young rascal. They find any papers on him, Loader?
Yes, sir. Here they are.
Ah. Thomas Casey. Mm-hmm. Medical student, eh? Well, Mr. Casey, what were you doing in the vicinity of the explosion?
I was riding a bike home from the university as peaceful as you'd please. When all of a sudden I heard a terrific noise, and I fell off my bike. And then some soldiers came along, and would you believe it now? I was whisked into a lorry bicycle and all and brought up here and asked what I was doing back there. Is it now forbidden to ride through our own streets?
Helen,
I beg your pardon.
let the man go, Loader.
Ed, give his bicycle.
All right, you may go.
Thank you kindly. And thank you, too, for bringing me here.
Don't be impudent.
Begging your pardon, I meant it sincerely. For I've had one look at a woman I'll never forget.
Why, thank you. You know, I've always wondered whether the romantic stories I heard about the Irish were true. And now...
And now...
Why, now I see they are.
Helen.
Good night to you, my lady. The good saints bless you and keep you.
Good night, Dennis Reardon. The same to you.
They're all alike, Lady Helen, full of blarney.
Yes. And isn't it attractive? Hobbs? Who's hurt? What are you talking about?
Let me go. Let me go. I tell you, let me go.
He was running and he fell. His legs all twisted up under him. He wouldn't let me touch him.
Oh, now come, let me see your knee.
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me.
I was a Red Cross nurse once, and even the enemy didn't mind when we helped. Let me see it. Oh, that's a good boy. Ow. It's just a wrench. It isn't broken. Hobbs, please help me carry him to the car. We'll have to drive him to his home. There, Pedro. Isn't that a nice bandage?
Yes'm, thank you. My mother should be home soon. She must be shopping.
Do you think you'll be all right if I leave you?
Yes'm.
Hello there, Pedro. The door was open, so I walked... Well, lady, I'm afraid you're in the wrong section of Dublin.
Why, hello.
I fell down and hurt my leg, and she brought me home and fixed it. Isn't it all right?
Of course it's all right. But Lady Helen is in the wrong section of town.
What do you mean?
I mean that while you've been fixing the lad's legs, the neighbors have been fixing your car. Your chauffeur just left for the garage to see if he could get a repairman.
Well, how will I get home?
Did your mother take her bicycle, Peter?
No, it's around and back.
Then we'll be borrowing that.
Thank you, Miss Reardon.
Now, you have a frightening memory for names.
I'm not apt to forget that one.
I'll get my bike and meet you around in back. There's quite a crowd in front. They aren't used to English in this part of town.
All right, thank you.
You called him Dennis Reardon.
Yes, that's the only name I know him by.
Mother says never to call him that anymore.
Oh, I see. Well, then, we won't.
I was certainly wise in taking you around the outside of town instead of through it. With your kind of cycling, you'd have been killed for certain by an Irish lamppost. Well, let's stop and rest for a moment.
All right. Oh, it's beautiful out here, isn't it? So beautiful it almost hurts.
Yes, it is. I'm a countryman at heart myself, you know. Someday I'm going to have a bit of a farm in County Galway with some fine pigs and horses on it.
All by yourself?
Indeed not. There'll be a fine-spirited woman in my house making a great clamor all day and children driving me crazy with their goings-on. And there'll be some fine rich earth for plowing and a brook and a leprechaun at the kitchen doorstep. And you'll always have to remember to leave him a bit of cream at night, or he'll be very angry.
Oh, I'd never forget a leprechaun.
I don't think you would. Would you like to meet me at Dublin Market tomorrow? I'm buying the first pig. Would you like to help me pick him out?
No, I can't do that.
So far as the world goes, we've nothing in common, have we?
No, I'm afraid we haven't.
And there's no reason we should be friends, is there?
There's every reason we shouldn't.
Then let's not be friends. Let's just come here again and forget who we are and talk about farms in County Galway.
No, Dennis, we must not. Come on, we'd better start back.
Just in case you change your mind, I'll be waiting at 4 o'clock at the pig stalls. Tim, my boy, is this not a fine-looking pig?
Hey. But, Dennis, our English friend Captain Loader is close by, looking at cabbages and taking quite an interest in you and your pigs.
Yeah, I see. I think I'll be asking to put this pig by for me, Mr. O'Houlihan.
All right, sir, that I will.
There's some more of the English over there by the chickens.
Quick before they surround us. Have you any coins?
Aye.
Then throw them in the air quickly and get away while the kids are scrambling for them. Come on.
Here you are, ladies. Scramble.
I'm glad you came. When I wrote you the note and gave you my new address, I didn't know whether you came to my house or not, seeing as how you weren't at the market yesterday.
This is the last time I will ever meet you. You see, I'm not your friend. I'm your enemy. I know you're Dennis Reardon. Pater told me without realizing it. That's how they knew you'd be at the market yesterday. Through me.
Did you also tell them you were meeting me here today?
No. It's no use asking you not to hate me. I'd better go.
No, don't go. Sit down and talk a bit. It may be a long time before we're meeting again.
We can never see each other again. You know that now, don't you?
Yes, I know it now. But all the years after you've gone from me, I'll be thinking of what might have been. And maybe it would be good to know if we thought of it in the same way.
Maybe it would.
Every evening, I'd have asked you to meet me on top of the hilltop. What would you have said to that when I asked you?
I'd have said, thank you, Dennis Reardon. I'll be there.
And all through the summer evenings, we'd have walked on the hills side by side. Not talking much, wouldn't we have?
We wouldn't have needed to talk much except to say, look at those stars. And did you ever see such a moon?
And one evening, I'd have put my arm around you. And us walking alone in the moonlight. And what would you have said then?
I don't think I'd have said anything. I think I would just have sighed.
A happy sigh?
Oh, very.
Then we'd have walked slower and slower and stopped. And I'd have said, it's the honest and beautiful woman you are.
Oh, Dennis, don't. Don't say any more.
And I'd have said, I love you. I love you. And after we were married, we'd be on my farm in County Galway, riding fine horses together and us laughing crazy all day long.
Oh, Dennis, hold me close. Don't ever let me go. Dennis, my dearest.
Darling. Look, darling, it's dark out. I think I must take you home now.
Oh, Dennis. I love you so.
No, don't cry now, darling.
It's hard not to cry. I've never been in love before. And to have had love for such a little time, and then to let it go. It seems past all bearing.
Someday, when I've finished what I must do, I'll come looking for you. And if you have not changed your mind, perhaps you'll go with me to County Galway.
I won't change my mind. Oh, wait, Dennis. No matter how long it is.
And I'll come to you no matter when it is. And I'll begrudge every minute of every hour on every clock in the world until my job is done and we can be together.
Goodbye, my dearest.
Goodbye, my darling.
In just a moment, we will bring you Act 2 of Beloved Enemy from the stage of Vic's Matinee Theater. When your child suffers the miseries of a cold, everybody seems to have advice on what to do about it. But if you took a public opinion poll, you'd find that the modern way most mothers use to relieve distress of their children's colds is to rub on Vic's Vapor Rub. Now, for such an outstanding preference, there must be a basic proven reason. The moment you rub on Vapor Rub, it starts to work to bring fine relief right in the very places where distress is. Vapor Rub penetrates penetrates into the cold, congested upper bronchial tubes with its special, soothing medicinal vapors. And at the same time, it stimulates chest and back surfaces like a comforting, warming poultice. For hours, this penetrating, stimulating action of Vapor Rub keeps on working to bring gratifying relief. It invites restful sleep, and often by morning, most of the misery of the cold is gone. Try it yourself. Just rub on Vapor Rub tonight. And remember, only Vapor Rub gives you this special penetrating, stimulating action. It's the best-known home remedy for relieving miseries of colds. Vicks Vapor Rub.
Now the second act of Beloved Enemies, starring Victor Jory. As our curtain rises, we're in England. And in the London house of Lord Athley, we find Lady Helen talking to her father.
Father, have you made up your mind what you're going to say to Parliament?
Yes. I'm going to recommend that Reardon and the delegates selected from his party be invited to England to see if we can't negotiate.
Oh, Father, that's wonderful.
If he does come, Helen, I shall hold you to your promise. You're not to see him alone. I say, if he comes.
Very well, Father. But he'll come. You'll see. He'll come. Welcome to England, Mr. Reardon. This is my father, Lord Athley. Father, Mr. Reardon.
Lord Athley.
How do you do, sir? I believe the last time we met, your name was...
Was Reardon, sir.
Yes. I trust you will enjoy this reception we've planned in your honor. My daughter will see that you meet everyone.
It was very kind of you, sir.
You've met Lord and Lady Huntington, Sir Cecil Brownlee. I do hope I've presented you to everyone.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, Dennis.
Oh, my dear, you're so beautiful. If only I could take you in my arms.
Oh, darling, if only you could.
But we cannot see each other alone. I gave my oath.
I had to do something like that, too.
I hate receptions.
I know. So do I. Oh, don't look at me like that. Everyone will know. Don't you admire that portrait, Mr. Reardon? It's a Reynolds, you know.
Oh, it's beautiful. Perhaps I should go.
Oh, no, please.
It's torture seeing you like this.
It's better than not seeing you at all. Come, let me show you about the house. There's the library in there.
What things in your life happen in that room?
That's where I played the harp when I was 14, in a pink dress.
That room?
I used to say my prayers in there before she died. Then for 10 years, I never went into it once. I do now.
And do you pray there now?
Yes, for you. And for peace, Dennis. Maybe this conference will mean peace. It could, couldn't it, Dennis?
It could, Helen. But it isn't very likely.
Helen, some of our guests are ready to leave.
Oh, I'll come at once, Father. I wish you luck at the conferences tomorrow, Dennis. You and Ireland.
The delegates from Ireland must realize that we've made concessions far beyond our original intentions. In the past few days, we have conceded point after point in our efforts to reach a satisfactory conclusion. You're reaching for the moon, gentlemen, and we cannot give it to you.
It's all or nothing, Dennis. Don't let them bluff you into compromising.
They've given in on so many of our big points, Burke.
They have not given in on all.
Gentlemen, it is not enough.
Then further discussion is useless. War is inevitable.
We are tired and our vision is blurred. The fate of millions of people lies in our hands. I urge the leniency of our friends, the Irish, and beg the continuance of this conference tomorrow.
Hear, hear. Is that satisfactory, Mr. Reardon?
I hold but little hope that anything further can be accomplished. The issue between us is clear-cut. But before we all take an irrevocable step, we will consent to one more meeting.
Very well. We're adjourned until tomorrow.
Burke, we knew when we came here the best we could get would be a compromise.
Let them compromise.
Oh, but compromising can't be on one side. They've already offered us more than Ireland has ever honestly hoped to get.
That's right, it is. I think we should take what they offer, and maybe a little later we can win a few more points.
We were sworn to demand everything or nothing. Oh, what's the good of arguing? You hold the deciding vote, Dennis.
That's right. In your vote hangs the balance of war or peace for Ireland, Dennis. Have you made up your mind?
I'm going out for a walk. I've got to think. They made us some fine promises today. There's no denying it.
They won't put them on paper. They just said we shall have home rule, and we must take their word for it. Well, I'm not willing to take anyone's word for anything. And if you do, Dennis Reardon, you'll answer to the people folks. They want their rights, and they've sent you here to get them for them. Now, what are you going to do about it?
I'm going for a walk. I have to think.
Mind your promise about that woman, Dennis.
I've not broken it, Bert.
Dennis, I'm so glad I found you. I asked for you at the hotel, and the clerk said he thought you were here in the park.
I've sworn not to see you alone.
Do you think Ireland would be completely destroyed if you kissed me? Just once.
Oh, Helen. Oh, darling, but you're enough to make a man forget life and country and promises.
Dennis, it's your vote that's going to mean war or peace, isn't it?
Yes. And I'm racking my brain and my heart for the answer. I can't forget the lads who died and all they fought for.
Is it wrong to remember those who want to live?
It is, if we fail the dead in order to bring easy comfort to the living. My country and its cause must come first before any man's right to live. Until we have freedom, we have nothing.
They're giving you that.
No, they're only promising us that. And not on paper.
Then take the promise and fight if it isn't kept. Give us a chance to keep it. Don't ever let your country go to war, Dennis Reardon, over something that can be settled peacefully. We are not without honor. We have made you a promise. Give us a chance to keep that promise. Dennis, the right of thousands of people to live and be happy are in your hands. You have no right not to try the compromise if you're very good at heart.
Good night, Helen. I must leave you now.
Dennis, what are you going to do?
I have to walk and think some more.
On behalf of the Irish Republic, I accept the promises of the English Committee. We agree to your compromise.
It's done, Helen. They've signed it.
Where's Dennis?
He left on the afternoon boat for Ireland. Helen, that man is one of the bravest I've ever known. Heaven help him. When he signed that treaty, he was as good as signing his own death warrant, and he knew it.
Death warrant?
Yes. The fanatics of his own party won't stand for compromise. They'll all look upon him as a traitor.
I'm going to him, Father.
Helen, to go to him would be very dangerous.
I must go to him, Father.
All right. I understand. We'll go together, daughter.
For 800 years, Irish patriots have fought for this freedom.
There he is, Father. He's speaking. See, on that platform. Let's get closer where we can hear him.
Government of its own. And now, for the first time in Irish history, we have that government. There are among us some men who still believe that Ireland is not ready for peace. I hope I may live long enough to prove to them that what has been gained today is everything we should hope for at this time, and that what will be gained in the future depends no longer on gunpowder and hatred, but on the peaceful understanding of the people. Our future, under the treaty, is a brighter one than any Irishman has ever known. But it must be built wisely and sanely. And above all, it must be built on peace.
There's the man that sold us out for a woman. There's the traitor. Oh, killed him. What is that?
Father, they killed him. Come, we must get to him.
Well, Doctor? He'll be all right. It's just a flesh wound. Go along in there now. He's waiting for you.
Well, now, woman, what are you doing here in Ireland without an invitation?
Without an invitation, is it? And who was it that invited me to live on a farm in County Galway?
Careful now, the doctor says I'm not to be excited. Don't you be shouting at me.
If I have any trouble with you, Dennis Reardon, I'll take it to the people. I saw how it was with you and the people tonight, after Burke shot you. He's in jail right now, thinking over his mistakes. The people are going to try it your way, Dennis.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, well, then, I guess my job is finished. And I can take it easy for the rest of my life on that bit of a farm with you.
Take it easy. Land alive, listen to the man. With a plowing and a planting and farming and milking and butchering and carpentering to be done, he's talking about resting.
May the saints bless us and keep us. The English are no better than the Irish. You're talking the same way my mother used to talk to my father.
And when you finish that milking, Patrick Reardon, you can set your mind and your hand to fixing the back strip.
It all goes to the farm in County Galway, darling. How does it sound to you?
How does it sound? Come here where I can put my arm around you, Helen, my darling, and I'll spend the rest of the evening telling you.
Would you mind kissing me first?
Would I mind kissing you? Oh, what a question to be asking an Irishman.
In just a moment, Mr. Jory will tell you about next week's production. Meanwhile, a very timely message. If you have a cold today, are you going to wake up tomorrow morning feeling just too miserable to get through the day's work? Or are you going to rub on Vicks VapoRub tonight? You see, the moment you rub VapoRub on your throat, chest, and back, it starts right to work bringing grand relief. It helps relieve congestion and irritation in the upper breathing passages, the coughing spasms, sore throat, and that muscular soreness or tightness. And here's why the results are so comforting and gratifying. VapoRub penetrates into the cold, congested upper bronchial tubes with its special soothing medicinal vapors. And at the same time, it stimulates chest and back surfaces like a comforting, warming poultice. What's more, this penetrating, stimulating action of VapoRub keeps on working for hours while you sleep to bring you wonderful comfort. Now make sure you get VapoRub, because only VapoRub gives you this special penetrating, stimulating action, the best-known home remedy for relieving miseries of colds. Vicks VapoRub.
This is Victor Jory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your many kind letters and your suggestions. I'm answering your letters as rapidly as possible. Your suggestions for future plays are most welcome. And if you care to write, you may address me in care of Columbia Broadcasting, 22, New York. Next week, from the stage of Matinee Theater, we will present that delightful RKO picture, My Favorite Wife. Leo McCarey's hilarious story of a man who found on the night of his second wedding that the first wife he had thought dead was very much alive. Next week, My Favorite Wife.
Our play was directed by Richard Sandville and was adapted by Gene Holloway from Samuel Goldwyn's motion picture. Mr. Goldwyn will soon present his latest Technicolor comedy, The Princess and the Pirate, starring Bob Hope at your local theater. Music for our series is under the direction of Mark Warnow. The part of Helen was played by Gertrude Warner. Be sure and listen again next week when Vic's Matinee Theater presents My Favorite Wife, starring Victor Jory. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
By DuPont. The DuPont Cavalcade of America wants to remind its listeners of the 1937 annual Red Cross roll call. There is no need to remind you of the worthwhile work this organization has done and is doing the world over. If you have not already joined, we know you will want to send your membership subscription to your local Red Cross chapter as soon as possible. This evening, the DuPont Cavalcade tells the story of one of the greatest natural botanists that ever lived, John Bartram. Bartram collected, cultivated, and crossbred plants and flowers, not merely for ornamental purposes, but to increase their usefulness to mankind. In his garden were many plants used for medicine and chemical purposes. Today, many plants and flowers are used by the chemical industry as materials for study and research. John Bartram can be compared with the research chemist who works for the comforts and conveniences of his day and age. This method of improving existing conditions in many fields is aptly expressed in the DuPont pledge: better things for better living through chemistry. As an overture, Don Voorhees and the DuPont Cavalcade Orchestra play Cole Porter's melodic Old-Fashioned Garden. DuPont cavalcade moves forward. John Bartram was born of Quaker stock in 1699 in the township of Darby, about 6 miles south of Philadelphia. By the time he was 24, he had a farm on the banks of the Schuylkill River, which was given to him by his bachelor Uncle Isaac. Shortly afterwards, he married a girl named Mary Morris. One day we find him plowing in a field as his wife approaches.
Go on there. Go on.
John? John!
Oh, boy. Oh. Well, Mary, what does thee out here in the fields?
It's such a lovely summer's day, John. I thought I'd bring thy lunch out and join thee.
Well, it was a kindly thought. It will be pleasant in the shade of the oak yonder. Come. Oh, boy. Oh.
How pretty the fields look. All white daisies. See that sod half tilted where your plow turned it? Why, it looks like a bonnet.
When did thee ever see a bonnet with flowers on it? Not at friends' meetings, surely.
No. And I'm glad we don't put them on our heads. They'd be out of sight of our eyes.
Look, Mary, how these flowers are made. Seems to be a regular scheme to them. As careful and exact as a snow crystal.
Why, I see nothing but white petals and a yellow center. They're all alike.
No, not really. If they'll look at the center, they'll see it is not all alike. There's a division among these close-packed yellow quills. I wonder what they're for.
Well, it makes small difference, since neither we nor the cattle can eat them.
It seems strange. I've turned up so many millions of them and never before even thought to look at one. Mary, I'd like to know something about these flowers and vegetables and herbs that grow all around us.
Well, how could we do that? There's no time for learning things with all the farm work on thy shoulders.
I'll make time for it, Mary. I must know about these things.
John Bartram had been self-taught. He could read and write and figure, but he had little book learning, as it was called in those days. For the next opportunity he has to leave his farm, he goes into the city of Philadelphia and enters the bookstore of a friend.
Mr. Campbell. Oh, Mr. Campbell.
Aye, coming. Ah, Mr. Bartram. I'm glad to see you in town. What can I do for you?
I want a book that'll tell me all about flowers.
You mean the vegetables and grains?
No, I mean flowers and trees and shrubs and medicinal herbs. I want to know all about them.
I've heard you're a good farmer, but I had no idea you're interested in botany.
Is that what they call it?
Aye.
Well, what's the best botany book?
There aren't many, good or bad. But here's one I've recently got over from the old country. It's the latest, though whether it's good or not, I don't know.
Can I see it?
Here you are. You'll notice it's by a young man by the name of Linnaeus. He's living in Leiden, Holland.
Well, the book's in Latin.
Aye. All books of science are written in Latin.
I don't know Latin. Isn't there one in English?
A few of the more popular scientific books are translated into the vulgar tongue, but this one is too new for that as yet. I'm afraid if you don't know Latin, you won't know botany.
Then I'll learn Latin. You've got a good book for that.
Aye. Aye, here's a good Latin grammar.
It's a hard stepping stone to the knowledge I want.
It does seem strange. We must learn Latin to know the little flowers that grow under our very feet.
Well, I've taught myself what I know now. I'll teach myself more. If other men can master Latin, so can I.
With the help of a schoolteacher, Bartram learned enough Latin in 3 months to read the scientific revelations of Linnaeus of Leiden. It made a profound impression on him, and he determined to let nothing stop him in the compilation of a complete record with description and samples of all the vegetable life of America. One evening he comes home late for dinner and is greeted by his wife.
Mary?
Well, John, where's he been? It's late.
Mary, I have great news. We've a fine new parcel of land.
More land? Where?
I just bought it at the sheriff's sale. 5 acres of it. Oh, it's a fair site on the Schuylkill. It'll need some draining down by the water, but the upper land is dry. Too dry, in fact. We must manage to get some water up to it somehow.
John Bartram, has he taken leave of thy senses? He can't even farm all the land he has.
I'm not going to farm this land.
Then what's it to be?
A garden.
A garden? For the kitchen?
No, just for flowers. Some of it will be for medicinal herbs, but most of it just for fine trees and flowers.
I think they must be daft indeed. Trees and flowers grow everywhere.
I know, Mary. But the joy will be to see them grow not everywhere, but all in one garden. Trees and shrubs and flowers from all over the colonies, from England even, and Holland. Oh, it'll be a rare sight. And new things will come of it. You wait and see.
But trees don't grow overnight. It will take a long time to have thy garden.
We're young. We'll see a lot of it bloom. But even if we don't, there's no harm in leaving good work to live after us when we're gone.
And that's a long time to wait.
That's one thing we've no time for. Waiting. I'll begin to plant our new garden tomorrow.
The fine stone house which still stands in the park, which was Bartram's original garden, was begun by Bartram's own hands. He used to work on it sometimes by moonlight after the necessary farm work was done. In 1707, his wife Mary died. Undaunted, Bartram went on with his work, for he had 2 little sons, John Jr. and William, to provide for. When part of the house was finished and the nucleus of his garden planned, Bartram found he had a house and a family without a home. In 1729, he married Anne Mendenhall of Concord Monthly Meeting in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. One day, about 4 years later, she comes looking for him in his garden.
John, where is thee?
Save thy voice, Anne. I'm right here behind these bushes.
Oh, the garden's getting so full of things. It's like a jungle.
What brings thee here?
A letter from England.
From Peter Collinson?
Yes.
Let me have it.
Here it is.
Oh, I hope. If only everything. Anne, you got the shipment I sent in?
And everything in good condition?
Wait. No. Only what I had in the cedar box and some of the pressings.
But, John, who would steal such things from thee?
Rats, my dear, and insects. He writes me to try again with the route. And next time to ask the captain of the vessel to put the box under his own berth.
And I thought all would be well if the box escaped water soaking.
There are many vexations between here and Europe, my dear. There's more than water keeps us apart. Look here what he writes. He sent a copy of my letter and some of my cuttings to Linnaeus. Linnaeus, the great botanist at Leiden. Isn't that wonderful?
The correspondence between Bartram and Peter Collinson, the wool merchant of London, continued for 35 years. Collinson saw a great opportunity for people in Europe to learn about the plant life of the American wilderness. Botanists and naturalists in England, Sweden, and Holland received many shipments from Bartram and sent him samples of rare things in exchange. Bartram's estate grew in size. His fortunes increased markedly. He was busy and happy. And on each New Year's Day, he kept open house. The festivity that ushers in the year 1751 is one of the best.
Well, friend Bartram, I'm glad to see you again. Happy New Year. Thank you. The same to you.
I'll pass the punch, Harvey.
Yes, Mrs.
Have you seen Mr. Bartram?
We're here on the hall telling some folks howdy.
Has Mr. Franklin arrived yet?
No, Ma's been in this week.
Oh.
Yes, there he is, talking to Ma's John. I'll get his coat and hat.
Well, let me have a glass of punch for him. He must be cold after his ride out from town.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin,
Welcome and a happy new year.
Thank you, Mrs. Bartram, and a long and happy life to you.
Thank you. You must be cold. Let me offer you a cup of punch.
I'll accept the cup from your hand with honor.
He's a courtier to his fingers, but he takes no more punch than I do. Still on a cold New Year.
You know I try to be temperate. Is it strong?
Oh, indeed, no. We make it from our own fruit.
I use good cider for a base.
And you press it well, both in the making and on me. Mr. Bartram, I'll drink a toast to you. I'll drink to your amazing capacity for work.
Thank you. And I'll drink to your thoughts on all men's work.
Work? John is more like a gypsy.
Well, ma'am, I never could understand how he could keep so long away from home.
From home? Why, I'm home the whole winter long.
And all spring he's on horseback collecting blossoms in the Alleghenies. Last summer it was shrubs in the Catskills. And last fall he went all over Virginia gathering seeds.
Well, I have a seed that needs sowing, friend Bartram.
Indeed? Give me the name of it. But I hope it has an English name.
Well, I'll look after our other guests while you two gossip.
All right, my dear. Come into the library, Mr. Franklin. It'll be quieter in there.
You don't mind a moment of serious talk on such a happy day?
I'm happy to hear you talk no matter what it's about. Sit down, Mr. Franklin. Sit down.
Thank you. Some years ago, we spoke of the need of an organization to encourage the arts and sciences in the colony.
Oh, yes. The American Philosophical Society. I remember it very well. We drew up a draft of it about 7 years ago, with your name at the head of it.
Ah, that was at your insistence.
Well, you placed mine next.
Mines are good neighbors.
It's too bad that society didn't come to life.
It will in time.
I'm afraid we were a little ahead of the season with it.
Yes. It was nipped by a frost of inertia. But we'll have it yet. But one thing we are sure to have, because I can control that action. It is a standard book on medicine.
I've always been interested in the study of medicine. The plants of America have many amazing medicinal properties.
No one knows them better than you.
Whose book are you going to publish?
It's Medicine Britannica by Thomas Short. And I want you to write an appendix for it on American medicinal plants.
I'm afraid I don't write very well. My spelling is full of invention.
Well, many can spell and write, too, and still say nothing.
Whatever I know is at your disposal.
Thank you. Now I am assured the book will be useful to the whole world.
You're prejudiced, my friend. Americans may have heard of me because I've dropped in on them in person from Nova Scotia to Florida. But the world is a larger place. Except for Collinson and a few others, I'm a stranger abroad.
That isn't what Linnaeus gave me to believe.
Linnaeus? Ah, there's a botanist. Some found fault with him at first because of the way he arranges species and genera. But year by year, they find him right. He's the most learned and brilliant botanist of them all.
He has even higher praise for you.
Linnaeus?
Yes.
Oh, I've sent him hundreds of samples for many years. But he knows nothing of me except through what I send him.
Then it is true that a man is known by his works. For Linnaeus says, you are the greatest natural botanist in the world.
In 1765, Bartram, through the interest of such influential English friends as Collinson, Lord Petre, and others, was appointed the King's botanist. This honor included an annual salary of £50, which helped him to finance his important work of collecting specimens and cultivating hybrids. For the purpose of getting seeds, Bartram took long, exhausting trips alone on horseback every autumn. One year, his route takes him through Virginia, and in due course, Bartram reaches the Rappahannock at Fredericksburg, where two men have arrived before him and are waiting to cross by the lower ferry.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hello! Hello! Ferryman! Well, the fellow must be deaf or sound asleep. Yet, Lewis, your bellow ought to wake the dead. Oh, this is provoking. If he had to fall asleep, why didn't he choose our side of the river?
Your pardon, gentlemen. But do I understand there is no way to raise the ferryman?
Well, we certainly can't reach over and tap him on the shoulder.
Well, I'm not so sure of that. A dozen years ago, you could throw a stone that far, George, and did it often right here at this very spot.
Well, I could try it. If a stone hit against his barge or near him, it might startle him. Here, hold my horse, Lou.
Glad to. Here's a good round stone, George.
No, I'd rather have one that's flatter. Yeah, like this one. Yeah. Perhaps this one. Yeah, but I'm afraid I might hit the rest.
I hope you do.
Well, I'll aim not to. Now, stand clear, Lou. I'll need to space the ground for this.
You look like a human catapult. As if you could throw across the Appalachians.
Well, here she flies.
Right to the mark. Yeah, right to flagging next his foot. That startled him. Now he'll hear me.
There's no need to call, Lou. He sees us now. Here he comes.
Well, I guess, George, you're still as young as you feel.
My friend, that was a truly amazing throw. I doubt if the average man could throw half that far.
Oh, it's just a trick I've had since I was a boy, sir.
I would take pleasure in knowing a man who can throw like that.
George Washington is my name. And this is my good friend Lewis Willis.
Colonel Washington. Well, this is a great honor. I'm glad to meet both you gentlemen. My name is Bartram. John Bartram.
The botanist?
Why, yes.
Why, I've heard about you many times, sir. I have a plantation on the Potomac. Do you go far on your journey?
This time, I'm going down the Rappahannock a ways and then cut across country to Williamsburg. From there, I'll go up the James River to the mountains.
But that's a long trip, sir. I doubt you can accomplish it before snow gets bad in the Appalachians.
I don't loiter much on the way, sir.
Well, I should say not. I've heard, George, that Mr. Bartram made one trip on horseback from Catskills through the Alleghenies and into Virginia to Williamsburg, a distance of 1,100 miles in only 5 weeks. Is that true, sir?
Yes, that is true.
You gentlemen want to cross?
Yes, you lazy rascal.
Yes, sir. Well, wait till I get her up to the shore. There we are. Please stand at your horse's head, gentlemen, when you get them on board.
Yes, we know.
Come on. Come on, boy. Come on. Easy, steady now. Steady. Come on. I wonder if you realize, Lou, the tremendous significance of Mr. Bartram's botanical expedition, not only in developing natural beauty, but also as a contribution to our agricultural progress. The fruits of his labor will return regularly and as beautifully as the spring.
Bartram's devotion to his work was matched only by his tremendous energy and endurance. He collected seeds and plants needed in Europe and exchanged them for species which were sent to him and introduced by him into this country. Even at the age of 66, he explored the St. John River in Florida to its source. In 1777, his life work ended, but the results lived on after he was gone. And as the colonies he had known became states, their capital was the city of Philadelphia, so near to his beloved garden. Bartram's garden became a favorite haunt of the patriots who molded this country's history. Thomas Jefferson, who lived just across the river, often used to come there with aged Franklin to discuss the future of the country. One day in 1794, after the federal government had been inaugurated, President Washington and Alexander Hamilton are showing Bartram's garden to the renowned French patriot visiting the United States, Count Talleyrand.
Now, this is the Dark Avenue, Count Talleyrand. And beyond, there's a grove of hybrids created by Bartram.
It is beautiful, Your Excellency. I am continually amazed at the state of luxury, science, and civilization I find here so new a country. A great work has been done here.
It has only been begun, sir. And there's one place I like above all others. A bench under an Aeschylus Pavia entwined with a luxuriant Tacoma.
Well, by such a name, it must be wonderful to see.
It is, Hamilton. And it's right at hand. Will you sit here, Count?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Aeschylus Pavia, But, why, this is only an Ohio buckeye with a trumpet creeper vine on it.
But isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful, yes. But what practical use, what scientific purpose is served by all this beauty? What does it prove?
Well, aside from its value as a museum of living plants, let me offer you evidence. This pear from Lord Petrie's pear tree.
Oh, thank you, Excellency.
You'll find it delicious. And you'll find an increasing number of pears like it in the future.
I see. It has been used to improve the strain of pears all through the colonies, eh?
Yes, all through the state.
Oh, pardon, the habit is one.
We all do that yet at times.
Think of the patience of a man like Bartram, knowing all the time that he couldn't possibly live long enough to see the full fruition of his labors.
That would not be a career suitable to an impetuous man like our Secretary of the Treasury. But the world has need of both such men. And our countrymen will enjoy the fruits of Bartram's labors.
Even as we eat and enjoy these pears.
Exactly. When you are refreshed, Count, we must see the herb garden. Bertram has given us a greatly improved strain of medicinal herbs. There's a strange chemistry in flowers that gives us many useful things.
When you put it that way, Mr. President, Bartram's work assumes great importance.
Perhaps Bartram's garden here was not for him alone. Not even for us, but for the future.
Yes. The seeds planted here will bear fruit for future generations throughout our land until Bartram's garden becomes all America.
Bartram's garden was not merely for beauty, but for usefulness to succeeding generations. Poppy, foxglove, coca, ipecac, glucose, nux vomica, cinchona, and saccharose were among the species represented. Today, the chemistry of flowers is supplying industry with a new source of raw materials. DuPont salutes John Bartram, pioneer botanist, as a leader in the cavalcade of America.
Speaking of growing plants, here's news from the South. Dispatches from the southern states say that the cotton crop is probably the largest ever grown. With picking practically completed, estimates indicate a bumper yield of more than 18 million bales. And thanks principally to research chemistry, that cotton will reach the public in more than 10,000 different forms. In developing such a great variety of new uses for cotton, chemists have created countless new products that serve nearly everyone every day. And by so doing, chemistry has opened entirely new markets for the cotton farmer's crop. The DuPont Company is one of the cotton growers' good customers. DuPont used 12.5 million pounds of cotton in textile form last year. Fabricoid coated fabric, produced in a wide variety of colors and surface effects for bookbinding, upholstery, luggage covering, and women's handbags, is virtually an all-cotton product, for it is created by coating a cotton textile base with a cellulose solution made from cotton. Tontine washable window shade material also comes from the cotton field via the chemical laboratory. Cotton seeds, which not so long ago were regarded as a nuisance, supply materials used by DuPont in producing such important products as paints and industrial explosives. And until recent years, no use was known for cotton linters, the short fibers or fuzz left clinging to the seed after the long staple cotton is removed. Now, DuPont chemists transform cotton linters into products such as rayon yarn and Duco finish for your car. And cotton linters provide a raw material for Parylene plastic, used today in making articles ranging from toothbrush handles and scuffless heels to safety glass. Safety X-ray film and photographic film are other uses, and even some of the enamels with which women tint their fingernails are of cotton origin. Yes, chemistry has done remarkable things with this snowy white fiber from our Southland. And new products made from cotton are still coming from the test tube, bringing with them new industries and new jobs. 9 DuPont plants, located in various parts of the country, employ 7,000 people in making products that can trace their ancestry to some southern cotton field. In this story of cotton and the many ways chemistry has found to put it to work for you, we see one more example of what the DuPont Company means by its pledge: better things for better living through chemistry. At the request of a large number of our listeners, we have decided to repeat one of last year's most popular Cavalcade of America broadcasts. The Seeing Eye, the story of how dogs are trained to help the blind at the Seeing Eye headquarters in Morristown, New Jersey, will therefore be the subject of our broadcast when next week at the same time, DuPont again presents the Cavalcade of America. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From San Francisco comes Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Rice-A-Roni, the flavor can't be beat. One pan, no boiling, cooking ease.
A flavor that is sure to please.
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Rice-A-Roni, the delicious break from potatoes. Now in 6 fabulous flavors. One pan, no boiling, cooking ease.
A flavor that is sure to please.
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
To the men, living and dead, who did these things, we dedicate this program, The Dam Busters, presented by the author himself, Paul Brickhill, dramatized by Morris West, an Australasian radio production.
Good evening, this is Paul Brickhill. Cheshire and Martin were tremendously excited at the success of the new marking technique. It meant that, despite the personal danger, the squadron's bombing accuracy would be enormously improved. The difficulty now was to persuade the brass hats that the danger was of little importance.
Yes, sir, I understand all that. But yesterday's operation proves at least partly that our ideas are right. No, sir, I don't agree. Martin's effort was a calculated risk, but it came off. Well, I'd sum it up this way. If we're going to mark accurately, we must be low enough to see exactly what we're doing. And I'm sure Martin is right when he says that flying very low, we're actually safer. No, sir, I can't find any way of marking accurately from medium level. Look here, sir, let's compromise, shall we? We've had one success. Give us another try at some lightly defended target. Oh, that's very good of you, sir. Well, I'm sure you'll be happy about it. Oh, yes, sir, we'll stand by. Goodbye, sir.
Well, what's the verdict, Skipper?
Okay, Mickey. But I had to talk my head off to get it. Cochrane's not at all sold on low-level efforts, but he's agreed to give us a go at another target, one with not too much flak around it.
I hope you didn't tell him too much about me.
As if I dared. He'd have had us both on the carpet.
It's hard to understand the Chief, Skipper. Why doesn't he leave this sort of thing to us?
I can understand him all right, Mickey. Cochrane's a man with a very deep sense of responsibility to the men under him. Oh, he doesn't show very much, he doesn't say very much. But every loss in the squadron is quite personal to him.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. Well, he's met us halfway. We have to prove we're right this time. What's the target?
I don't know yet, Mickey. I couldn't even guess. But I'll give you a buzz as soon as it comes through. Your target for tonight, chaps, is here. Okay. Limoges.
Limoges, huh?
It's about 200 miles southwest of Paris.
Limoges? That's where the china comes from, isn't it? I remember we got some for a wedding present.
It's porcelain, you clot. And if you did get it, you're very lucky. But it's not the porcelain factory we're after. There's a big aero-engine factory there. The Germans have taken it over, and strangely enough, it's not very heavily defended.
Oh, wonderful.
As you can see, you've got a clear run in here, here, and here. And there are only light batteries around the works.
Well, that'll make a nice change. I've been waking up in the night with pins and needles.
Well, there could be a dozen other reasons for that, Bob. However, there are certain other complications to make up for it. Chaps, this is Wing Commander Southby from Bomber Command. Headquarters particularly want him to give you this side of the briefing. Wing Commander Southby, gentlemen.
Well, as you've just been told, there are some very definite complications about this operation. In fact, I should tell you that when the target was first proposed, War Cabinet put a veto on it.
I thought they wanted to knock out all the war factories.
No, they do. But this factory is staffed almost entirely by French workers, men and women. Only the technicians and overseers are German. Well, in view of the already great sufferings of France, the Prime Minister is unwilling to sanction any operation which could cause loss of life to French civilians.
Well, didn't Napoleon say you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs?
Why, yes, I believe he did. You must understand I'm just passing on to you Cabinet's views on the matter.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Cheshire.
So far as the homes are concerned, I can promise you no damage will be done. I think I can guarantee on behalf of the whole squadron that every bomb drop will be dead on target. That right, chaps?
Yes,
Better not promise too much, Skipper. Remember the Anthiol Viaduct?
Well, that disposes of part of Cabinet's objection, but there is still the problem of the workers inside the factory.
Well, I'll take that one on myself. I'll be leading the operation. I'll go in first. I'll make 3 or 4 dummy runs low down over the factory to warn them what's going on. Then I'll give them time to disperse before I make my bombing run.
That sounds reasonable enough. But isn't it going to be a little uncomfortable for you?
Well, that's an understatement if there ever was one.
Well, it's my own neck. If I don't object, I don't see why Cabinet should.
No, I think you've got a good point there, Cheshire. Well, all right, that's as far as I go. Under those conditions, I am authorized to permit this operation to take place. But I should tell you that you stand or fall on this operation. If anyone slips 617, we'll never get another chance at France or Belgium. We'll make you guinea pigs over Germany.
Well, that's laying it on the line anyway.
All right, chaps, that's enough. We know exactly where we stand. I don't think we can ask anything better. We like to think that we're a crack squadron. It's up to us to prove it. Now then, we take off at 20-30 hours. Met reports indicate that the weather will be clear over the target, and it will be bright moonlight. As I told you, the flak will be light. There's another curious thing. In spite of what's going on there, recce reports show that the blackout is not being enforced, and that the factory is fully lit all night.
Wonderful.
So, don't let me hear anybody say he can't find the target. I'll be leading myself, and I'll buzz the factory 3 or 4 times before making the bombing run. Is that clear?
Okay.
Mickey Martin will take over as leader if anything happens to me.
Okay, Skipper.
Now then, take a look at your course. You cross the coast at this point, then change course to...
See it, Pat. Look, Skipper. The whole ruddy place is lit up. Looks like Dublin on St. Patrick's night.
Captain to bomb, Emil. Can you spot the factory, Pat?
Sure I can, Skipper. Rows and rows of lights. Buildings are quite clear in the moonlight. Just think of it, Skipper. All the pubs must be open and all the bars, and all the fine lovely mademoiselles walking about. And we up here lonely in the moonlight.
Captain to bomb aimer. You'll be 6 feet under the ground if you don't keep your mind on the job, Pat.
But the girls, Skipper, they're look... Uh-oh. Flag coming up, Skipper.
Captain to crew. I'm going in now for the dummy run. Gunners, see if you can do something about the flag. Give me radio, Wappy. You're on, Skipper. This is leader calling all aircraft. This is leader calling all aircraft. I'm going in to make my first dummy run. I'll make 3 in all, then the bombing run. Stand by to take over, Mickey. Over.
Okay, Skipper, standing by.
Captain to crew. Hang on to your hats, boys. We're going down to take some paint off the roof. Going down. Captain to crew. They've had their warning. All lights are out. This is the bombing run. Ready, bomb aimer?
Bomb aimer to Captain. Ready, Skipper.
Going down.
Target coming up, Skipper. Left a bit. Left. Right a bit. Steady. Steady. Bomb's gone.
Bang on, Skipper, bang on! Cut the chatter, boys. This is leader calling all aircraft. Markers dead center. Bombers ordered. Come on in, Mickey.
Coming in now, leader.
Watch him for me, boys.
I can see him, Skipper. A beautiful run. Bomb's gone. Quick, go, Skipper, right in the middle of your markers.
Good show. Nice work, Mickey. Come in, Ross.
Okay, leader. Going in now.
All right, chaps. Let's do some add-ups and takeaways. Everybody home safely.
Yes, Skipper, everybody home. And on time, too, for a wonder.
Any damage?
Not a scratch.
Have you all checked your aircraft?
Yes, sir. Right, okay.
Oh, good show. Very good show.
Just one thing, Skipper. I had a hang-up, as you know. I had to make a second round, but I got rid of the darn thing.
On target.
Bang on, sir.
All right, boys. We'll have a very nice report to put into the AOC.
What about the War Cabinet?
Wing Commander Southby?
Well, all your reports indicate that every bomb dropped on the target. And as far as I can see, the War Cabinet should be as satisfied as I am. However, we'll have to wait for pictures in the morning.
I'd like you to give me a call as soon as they're ready.
Yes, I'll do that, and, well, good show, chaps. I won't keep you. You've earned your breakfast.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, that's all, chaps. Go and eat, and then buzz off to bed.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, make it late. I've got to enjoy that this morning.
Well, Skipper, we did it.
We did it better than I ever expected, Mickey. Better than I ever expected, Mickey. Cochrane should be very happy.
Well, if he isn't, he's hard to please. Oh, boy, I'm tired.
So am I. But I think I'll ring Cochrane.
If you're going to do it now, I'll stick around.
Okay. Get me out, Chief Marshal Cochrane. Yes, please, as quickly as you can.
You know, Skipper, I've been wondering...
What now?
Well, after tonight's little effort, I'd like to have another crack at the Anthior Viaduct.
Mickey, you're a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
No, not really. It's just that the damn thing's been sticking in my craw. It's a blot on the squadron record.
Well, I'll talk to Cochrane and see what he thinks. Cheshire? Oh, good. Put him on. Hello, sir. This is Cheshire. Did I get you out of bed? Oh, good. I just wanted to tell you, sir, operation completely successful. No casualties. Every bomb dead on target.
In Italy, the Allies were preparing to break out from the Anzio beachhead, and the Germans were preparing to stop them. Trains carrying 15,000 tons of German supplies a day were passing over the Anzio viaduct, and 617 was ordered to smash it. The Anzio viaduct. Yes, this was the third time they were to tackle it. Cheshire was sure they could do it by employing Martin's new low marking technique.
Yes, sir, I understand all your objections, but I do feel that we need some discretion in the matter. All right, sir, we'll leave it at that. No low level unless it's absolutely necessary. Yes, sir. Very good, sir. I'll pass that on to the boys. Goodbye, sir.
What's the verdict this time, Skipper?
Congratulations on the Limoges job, and we're getting another crack at the viaduct.
That's good. High or low level?
He's still not completely sold on low level, but he's left it to our discretion.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Mickey, he is right, you know. Intelligence reports indicate that there are 12 heavy guns and 8 or 10 light ones concentrated around that viaduct.
With searchlights as well?
That's right. It's going to be a sticky one.
There's another thing, Skipper. If we're carrying blockbusters, we'll have to refuel on the way. It's too far from Woodhall.
Cochrane mentioned that. We'll refuel at Ford, and after the operation, we'll fly on to North Africa.
Oh, good, sure. Be able to stock up with wine and fruit like we did before.
Always an eye to the main chance, eh, Mickey?
Why not? There's a lot of rough country in between. Well, come on, Skipper. Let's have something to eat and go to bed. I'm tired.
Give us a cigarette, will you?
Your target for tonight is the Anzio Viaduct. That's right. You've had 2 cracks at it. Now you've got a 3rd chance. It's an important target, since that viaduct is the main supply line for German troops in Italy. They've got our boys pinned down at Anzio, and there's 15,000 tons of supplies a day passing over that railway line, so you can see how vital it is to smash it.
What are the defences like, Skipper?
Heavy, very heavy. You gunners are going to be kept busy. Your first job will be to douse as many of the searchlights as you can. As each man goes in for his run, the rest of us will have to draw as much of the flak as we can.
Look, what's the drill, Skipper? High or low level?
Low level. I'll go in first and mark for you. Then Mickey will follow. After that, the rest of you in order. Now, take a long look at your approach. You have to slide in here, as you did before, and then... This is Leader. Sorry, boys, there's too much flak. I'll have to try again. Try to pull some of it away from me.
Hold off a minute, Leader. I think I'm in position for a low run. I can see everything. The flak boys haven't spotted me yet. Over.
Okay, Mick. Go ahead. Over.
Try and draw the flak as long as you can. Captain to crew, select your target markers, bomb aimer. Fuse them.
Okay, Skipper. Target markers selected and fused.
I'm coming in steep and I'll level out in the last second. You have to wait on me for the drop.
Okay, Skipper.
Go for the lights, gunners. Going down. Going down.
No, Skipper. No.
No, hang on. No! Shut up there, shut up!
Are you all right? P. Pops here. Are you all right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Over.
Still airborne, leader. Call you in a minute. Over.
This is Leader. Sorry, boys. Have to try again. P. Popsy has been hit. Wait for me. Try to draw the flank. Going in now. Captain to crew. I've got to get past that flank, boys. I'm going to dive steeply and see if I can get under the cone. Go for the lights, gunners. I'm going in now. Ready, bomb aimer.
Ready, Skipper.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Now.
Marker's gone, Skipper.
This is Leader. Marker's done. Bomber's ordered, chaps. This is Leader calling P. Popsy. Are you all right, P. Popsy?
We're hit badly, Skipper. 2 engines gone. Crew hurt. Over.
Can you make it back home, Mick? Over.
Not a hope, Skipper. We'll try and make for the nearest friendly land. Over.
All right, boy. Good luck. Captain to engineer. What's our damage?
I was in the first fuselage, Skipper. Tears in the leading edge and port wing. How far? We're light on petrol.
The others must be too. We've been stooging around too long. This is Leader calling M. Mother. Come in, please.
Hello, Leader. This is Shannon.
What's happened, Davy?
Bomb burst all around the targets, Skipper. No damage as far as I can see. Want me to go back for another look?
No, Davy. For Pete's sake, no. How's your petrol?
Petrol, low, Skipper, low.
This is Leader calling all aircraft. Break off and go home. Break off and go home. Captain the crew. Are you all right, rear gunner?
Okay, Skipper. Sticky while it lasted.
Mid-up, are you all right?
Okay, Skipper.
What about you, Whittaker?
Hitting the leg, Skipper. Trying to get a tourniquet on.
You want any help?
No, I'll be right, Skipper. She's flying like a duck, isn't she?
Yeah. Bob Hay, you all right? Bob Hay, answer, please. Are you all right? Hay's not answering, Foxley. Take a look at him.
Hello, Skipper. This is Foxley. Hay's been hit. He's lying on the floor, not moving.
Look after him like a good chap. Let me know how he's going.
Okay, Skipper.
pass me down some morphine, will you? Yeah. Here you are. Thanks. Now, help me turn him over, will you? Good Lord. Got it in the chest and in the head. Hello, Skipper. What is it? Bob Hayes dead. Okay, thanks. Get back to your guns. Where are we heading for, Mickey? Somewhere friendly, I hope. Have you got any ideas? Not at the moment. Wherever's nearest. How about Jib or Sicily? Doubt if we'd make it. I'll see now. How about Sardinia or Corsica? Do they belong to us? I wouldn't know. But did say in the News of the World Corsica was ours. How these newspapers are. Well, best thing to do is to go and find out. Okay, Corsica it is. Hello, navigator. Give me a course, will you? North Corsica. How's the leg, Whit? Well, it's stopped hurting now. It's just dead. So I've been taking a look at our damage, Skipper. 2 engines completely gone. Fuselage torn open like a sardine tin. Can you get any more power? I doubt it. She's climbing slowly, but that's the limit. She won't trim at all. What else? Well, the floor's all smothered in grease. It's from the hydraulics. You can count them out. Air pressure's gone, too. Yeah, I know. I can't get the confounded bomb doors up. From here, a gas bottle seems all right. You'll probably be able to get your undercart and flaps down. But you won't have any brakes to pull up with. That's ducky, that is. I've kept the best bit till last. The bomb release fuses have gone for a Burton. And we've still got the bombs on board.
Thank you for joining us this Sunday evening. We'll be back on 12 May 2024, and we hope that you'll join us. Until then, sleep tight. This is a production of Lobato Studios, Sao Paulo, Brazil.